150.
888-994-6669. We don't do this to get you excited. There was a game Chris absolutely loved. And when he does, I'm telling you, these games win, guys. Straight out, they win. Call now. Get it on the recorded line for free at 888-994-6669. That's 888-9-WIN-NOW.
2 years ago, we did 33 Saturday shows. We won 25 of them.
25 and 8. Think about that.
Last year, we did 36 Saturday shows. We won 25 of them, so 25 seems to be the number there. When this is all said and done...
Maybe we should only do 25 shows.
We have a 60-second recap coming up. Keep it right here on Sports Investors Daily, sponsored by TakingVegas.com. All right, here we go with the 60-second recap, and this recap is brought to you by GirlsThatGamble.org. That's GirlsThatGamble.org. Go check out that website for the free false favorite on a recorded line. You have to give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. This is a big false favorite. This one is over plus 150. It is a big underdog. We feel the line is wrong. We feel we're going to win outright, plus the points, and on the money line. It's yours free on a recorded line at 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669. Plus, we all know what weekend this is. It's a special one. The NFL officially back in our lives. We have a best bet for Sunday that we absolutely love. Guess what? We're giving you that for free as well. So it's a best bet for Saturday, a false favorite, a best bet for Sunday, 2-0 on a recorded line. You give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. Go 2-0 this weekend, absolutely free on a recorded line. The number to call, 888-994-6669. All right, back here closing out the second show, but the first main show of Sports Investors Daily. Guys, also, we have our new sponsor, GirlsThatGamble.org. That's GirlsThatGamble.org. Go check out that website. You can also check out TakingVegas.com if you're a smaller player. Again, those two sites are great. Like we always say here, and this is Chris Hodge, and I've been doing this show for 20 years now. This is my 20th year doing this show. We ain't going to win every single week. No one says we do. We don't want you guys to ever play more than you can afford to lose. Stop betting the ridiculous 14 parlays. You're not going to win them. I've said it for years. For every one guy that wins that somehow gets posted on social media, there's a million guys that lose, okay? That's like trying to hit the lotto. It's like playing that $1 billion lotto jackpot for Powerball. You know the chances are for that. So it is what it is with these parlays. We want to teach you guys a better message, okay? Sports gambling could be dangerous. We say it all the time. If it's done incorrectly, it's a dangerous proposition. Like drinking is dangerous if you get in a car. Doing drugs, dangerous. Like these are dangerous things that you have to be careful with, okay? But sports wagering, when done correctly, could be very beneficial, okay? But you have to do it with patience and strategy. You can't bet money you can't afford to lose. Again, when you call us at 888-9-WIN-NOW, that's 888-994-6669, and you ask us to get involved with the money management systems, if we even suspect that you're struggling for money or you're up against it, we don't do business with you. We don't want you. We want you to get better. But if you're looking, hey, these investments I've been doing haven't been well, I have the means to take out $10,000 or $100,000, like JR said, or whatever, and it's not going to hurt my life, and I want to try something different with it, well, we feel we have the money management strategies that can be proven successful, and we have the proof. We have our customers from last year text messaging us, "Guy, I'm getting shut down," or "A guy just went and bought a house off the winnings we had made him last year." But it has to be done correctly, and it's not for everyone. So give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669. We start you off for free on a recorded line with a false favorite. Now, the false favorite pick last week, we lost it. We can't. Very first thing I said on the show, we lost the free false favorite. When we win, we tell you. When we lose, we tell you. We always have. But since we started doing false favorites, which is right around COVID, we have not lost back-to-back. That's college football. That's the NFL. That's college basketball. We have not lost two straight false favorites. So if there was ever a day you wanted to try us out, today's the day to do it. And this is a big false favorite. This isn't a plus 1.5, plus 2. This is plus 150 money line or more. Free on a recorded line, plus the NFL free pick as well. 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669. After all that's said and done, Get involved with the money management strategies. Listen to us. Hear us out. Try something different. Hell, we've been on radio for 20 years. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Because we're damn good at what we do. Haven't won every week, but we damn sure show profits every single month. So give us a call at 888-994-6669. Check out girlsthatgamble.org. Check out takingvegas.com. Be sure to listen tomorrow to Sports Investors Daily. Everyone, have a great Saturday, and we'll catch you back tomorrow on Sports Investors Daily.
This program was paid for by 1220 Enterprises. The opinions and views expressed are not those of local stations. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes. Use of this information in violation of any federal, state, or local laws is prohibited. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco, on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Live from downtown San Francisco, this is 95.7 The Game.
And hi again, everybody. This is Dan Avone along with you. We got you for the next 3 hours. We're going to talk whatever the hell it is you want to talk about. We will get into the San Francisco 49ers and the latest on one Christian McCaffrey. We thought we were done with the 3 most hated words in the Bay Area over the last 2 years, that being bilateral Achilles tendonitis, apparently has resurfaced. The latest on Christian McCaffrey. Will he or will he not go? It's all conjecture. We're just talking. We have to wait until about 90 minutes to kick off tomorrow before any of us will officially know. But until then, we'll talk about it. I know some people are like, look, just wait. Be patient. You know, why just spit out and talk about things that have no credibility, where none of us know whether any of it's fact? Well, guess what? That's what we do. That's what platforms like this are for. That's what all those coconuts on YouTube and everybody that's got their own show these days, that's what we're here about. To talk about Christian McCaffrey, to talk about whether or not you, meaning the fans at home, think he's going to play come kickoff tomorrow afternoon at Lumen's Field against the Seattle Seahawks. Here we go. Anything else you want to get into? D-line, we'll break it all down for it. But before I get into things, I just peeked into the glass. Look at this star-studded cast. Zach, my man. Caddy Zach. Does Caddyshack predate you?
Not really, but
right.
Legendary movie. Absolutely legendary.
Once again, let me just lay it out for everybody that does not know my man Caddy Zach. He is the best golfer, not only here at 95.7 The Game, but I will take on any television, radio personality, not only in the Bay Area, but in California. It is Caddy Zach. Caddy Zach, how'd you hit him the other day?
Pretty good. My front 9 was pretty rough. Went out to this course in Livermore called Poppy Ridge. They just redid it, but I shot at 89, 41 on the back though. The front 9 was rough. Okay,
after I give you an intro like that, you can't start things by saying I blew up on the front 9. Make it up, brother, because you are now the best golfer, not only in the Bay Area, but the state of California. That brings me to my man, Steven Risotto, better known as Pasta. Pasta, what's going on, man?
What's going on? I'm not a good golfer.
No, but you can get on the hill and you can pitch, as I understand it.
I can't. I did, but like right now, I don't know. It would be a stretch, but I think I could do it. I could get outs.
So this is a prerequisite to produce for me. You have to have some level of sports talent. Otherwise, I don't want you, which is why Sam Lubman, which is why Lucas Ball.
Lucas actually did play in a competitive adult league, I think, for
he's
baseball.
Actually a sleepy good.
Yeah,
good
and
athlete.
he did well in the knockout contest too. He's got some game.
All right, since I've got you on the horn here, I want to go back and forth with you because we just put to bed because no one picked up the pilot. You know how they shoot those pilots when people want to get a television show out there with the Giants post-game show. We're like, yeah, let's just put this thing to bed. It's the Giants for crying out loud. They sucked for 2 months. Now all of a sudden they're the best team in baseball. So believe it or not, we thought we would get into the Niners and all things sports in the Bay Area, but we are going to start with what else? The San Francisco Giants. The only reason I'm doing this, look at if they were the same team they were 2 weeks ago and the same team they were in the months of July and August, RIP. I wouldn't even mention the Giants on this show. But the fact that they are the hottest team in the MLB right now and a team that has won 5 in a row and has hit 18 home runs in 18 consecutive games, which has not been done by a San Francisco baseball team dating back to 1947, an opportunity to tie the record today. It's worthy, I think, of starting the show. Well, listen, if there's no traction and people aren't into the Giants, we're running right to McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers. But I do want to throw them some love, that being the San Francisco Giants. Because the Giants, and we had said this all year long, look at if this team could hit with the pitching and the bullpen they had at the beginning of the season, they are going to be dangerous. And they couldn't. Even when they were winning, they couldn't hit. Runners in scoring position, not going to happen. How many times bases loaded, nobody out, one out, and just nothing. And now the San Francisco Giants, we always maintain it's not as though these aren't proven players. Look at the back of the card. And guess what? They waited until now to put it all together. None of us should be surprised. It's kind of like when you play a little blackjack. Any of you guys play at the tables in Vegas? I mean, if you play cards wherever, Indian Casino, Vegas, wherever you're getting ripped off, the cards will eventually turn, right? It may take a while. Nobody saw 2 months of futility, but eventually the cards will turn. And eventually Willie Adames will be Willie Adames at the end of the day. Eventually Chapman will be Chapman. Eventually Devers, boy, that dude is just swinging out of his socks, man. Guy's like, he's loading up with a 7-iron. He just sits there and he's just swinging from his heels and he's just hitting bomb after bomb. What the hell's going on with this team? And now it's the complete opposite. Like now it's the team's pitching is questionable. You got Logan Webb and then, I don't know. It's like, who the hell are we throwing out there today? If it's not Logan Webb, it's just everybody hold hands and let's pray together. Last night, Carson Seymour, who? Strong. 4 shutout, no-hit innings. They got 5 innings out of him, then handed over to Matt Gage in the bullpen. But Robbie Ray hasn't been good. You know who's been probably their most solid performer in terms of the pitching staff over the latter part of the season? Say it with me, Pasta.
Justin Verlander?
Thank you very much. Would you agree with that?
I would.
Yeah.
I think that he's a guy that... it took a while. He's 42 years old, and I think he gets written off pretty quickly. But he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball over the last however many starts he's had. And I don't know what it means other than he's going to get looks next year at age 43.
And he's got a hot wife. I don't know what that accounts for, but it's something, I guess. But here's the thing. You know who my favorite player is? I'll tell you. And this might be the straw that is forget about Darryl Strawberry stirring the city of New York back in the day. This might be the straw. This kid might be the reason. That in the fight last week with Devers, which was such a bad baseball fight. Oh, God. I mean, they just got to stop doing that, right? Look, it's not the 80s and the 90s. Nobody's throwing blows anymore. Just stop with the fight. I ISO'd on Devers. I ISO'd on Chapman. It's like nobody wants to fight. Kyle Freeland, as angry as everybody was, nobody wants to drop blows in 2025. You want to know why? There's too much to lose, man. I'm making too much money. You think I want to get my jaw wired because of you and not play? That's stupid. There's too much money on the line. Nobody fights anymore. I want to see the first guy who doesn't leave the bullpen. That's going to be the trendsetter. The guys that leave the bullpen have never been in a fight in the history of Major League Baseball. But the first guy says, you know what? I ain't going out there. What's the point? I guarantee you'll never see another guy in the bullpen leave to supposedly support his team in a fight ever again. But anyways, that fight, I think, rallied the team. But my new favorite Giant, and this is the reason, I am saying this is the reason for the turnaround. It's Drew Gilbert. Drew Gilbert. The dude's a lunatic. And I'm unveiling a new name for him. And I'm going to let FP Santangelo know of this new nickname. And then this thing is going to go viral. But I want everyone to know that it started here first, all right? And I have no doubt that it's going to catch on, but I will test it out with you two first. We know that this guy, he looks like Brock Purdy. He may sound like the kid next door or somebody that has a paper route down the block. Do they still have paper routes? The guy in my block throws a paper from a car. Like, what the hell are you doing? Do they still have the buggy and still go from house?
It's not a boy on a bike anymore. It's a grown man in a truck that looks like an Amazon truck.
Or a woman.
Or a woman. Good point.
So he may look like the proverbial paper boy or girl back in the day, but I'm telling you, this guy's got a lot of crazy. This dude is not right, and I love it. I love it. You see him throwing up the 3 digits in Colorado? We just swept you. Get the hell out. What are you doing? And he's just nuts. Look at him in the dugout. You talk about reaction shots, or as we like to say in the television industry, the cutaways. He's the dude. So he may look normal, so I'm changing his name. This is how he will be referred to from this point forward when anybody mentions the name Drew Gilbert. And there's going to be a lot of Drew Gilbert talk over the next couple of years because he's going to take over this team. Mark my words. It's no longer Drew, but it's Koo, as in Koo. His new name is Koo Gilbert. Koo Gilbert is the guy that I think, along with obviously everything that Devers is doing and Willie Adames, I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek here. And Jung-Hoo Lee. Jung-Hoo Lee last night, 4 for 5. And an RBI. Welcome back, Jung-Hoo. I think he's sort of the poster child of the Giants' offensive woes this year. Disappeared for 2 months. Everybody's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? All over 1 through 9 in terms of where it was he was going to hit. Lead off. Dropped as low as 7, 8. And now the guy's back. He's squaring up everything. And so is Chapman. Casey Schmidt has solidified second base. The one thing about Casey Schmidt is that he looks like a third baseman. He's kind of bulky. Defensively, usually you have those smaller, nimble guys that can cover ground. He's a little lumbering, but I like him. That's the second baseman of the future. I don't know, man. Let me just get in the glass once again. Caddy Zach, can they catch? And it's not only catching the Mets. You're 4 games away from the Mets with like 23 to go in the season. But the Padres, don't look now, are free falling. Thank you, Tom Petty. And by the way, listen, don't lock me up and throw me in the funny house. They're only 6 games back of the Dodgers. I know that's crazy talk, right? I get it. Let it get a little closer. But the San Francisco Giants are suddenly a relevant baseball team. How the hell did this happen? Pasta, any chance they catch the Mets and or the Padres?
I feel weird. I already wrote them off. I might have done a funeral before I should have. But the only saving grace that I see, Dan, is just the amount of games against the Dodgers coming up here. They got 3 against the Dodgers at home. They have 4 against the Dodgers in L.A. Diamondbacks coming up. A few more games against St. Louis. The Rockies. Their schedule's in favor of them if they were to make a push here.
Well, they're making a push. Well, the one thing about chasing San Diego and New York is that they lose the tiebreaker to both of those teams. But here, listen, Pasta, let me correct you. You wrote them off. Don't ever echo that publicly because, first of all, nobody remembers. And everybody changes their opinion in this industry depending on whichever way the wind is blowing.
I guess it is a new show, right?
It is, exactly. It's a new day. Don't ever admit to what it is that you said yesterday if you were wrong. Only recognize what it is that you said yesterday or the week before if you were right. Always remind people that you made that prediction, that you called that, despite being wrong 90% of the time. That's how it works in this industry. So nobody remembers that you wrote them off. My question is, do you think that they can catch the Padres? By the way, you're wearing a San Diego Padre hat. Whatever.
Just go with it.
All right.
You know, shout out Adam Sandler. Just go with it.
The problem, I guess, with the Giants is that it's been completely inverted. Like, the roles have been reversed here. It's now the question for San Francisco is, do they have enough pitching? That's the question. Can they get to the finish line with his cobbled together staff and whoever the hell it is that's coming out of the bullpen? They brought a guy in out of the bullpen the other day by the name of Brubaker. Okay? What's up, Brubaker? Pleasure to meet you. Who do you play for? Brubaker, that was a movie, like, I want to say, starring Robert Redford way back in the day. Brubaker? That's how far we have fallen from the likes of Tyler Rogers and Camilo Duvall and Miller and Walker and all the recognizable names. But that's where we're at, is can this bullpen, can this starting staff, and I don't know, man. I just think that might be the undoing right there. And if I was to say that in the beginning of the season or 3/4 into the season, you would have said, I'm out of my mind. You're like, no, we can't hit. The pitching's fine. Now all of a sudden the pitching's kaput, and it's all offense. This team will just tattoo anybody. And this is why you got Devers, man. Devers 2 for 4 last night. He had another jack. He's got 31 on the season, 2 more RBIs. This is who he was in Boston. You want to know why they got Devers? You want to know why Buster Posey said, bring that dude down here? This is why. This is the cat. This is it. He's been unveiled. This is what he does. He just sits and he swings and he just loads up, man. He just mashes, as they say. And he squares up everything. And he's got like that buggy whip. I'm telling you, it's like a 7-iron. And he just drills that thing and then sits there and watches. I love it, man. So the San Francisco Giants right now are a team that, believe it or not, are trying to walk down the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres to get into the postseason. And I don't know what the odds are in Vegas. I think they were less than like 2% about 10 days ago. You got Vegas odds for me, Pasta?
I'll pull them up.
Yeah, I think they're much better than that, obviously. And it's all about the hitting now. And this game is so effing weird because it is infectious. And what do they say? Joe Garagiola said, a hitting slump, it starts in your bat, goes to your head, and ends up in your gut. And with the Giants, it started with one player, and it was everybody that walked to the plate and said, well, this is going to be a double play. I mean, it was clearly lodged in their head that they couldn't hit. And now just the opposite is true. They walk to the dish, and every one of those cats feels as though they're going to hit something hard, and they do. Like, they don't even just make outs. My man Cuckoo Gilbert yesterday, I mean, he had that shot to the gap and got robbed. Like, everything, it is solid contact, 1 through 9 on this team. Patrick Bailey, 3 hits last night. Patrick Bailey is now becoming that guy. I mean, it's a weird sport. And right now, the San Francisco Giants, the question is, can you continue to hit like this? And can you continue to win at this clip? Because there is no room for error. You cannot go back to who you were. In the midpoint of the season, just a couple of weeks ago, you cannot have a tease where you're playing well and then all of a sudden you regress to losing 3 or 4 in a row. Not enough time. Can't do that anymore. This has got to be who you are. You got to continue to win. This 5-game winning streak, stretch it out to 10 or 11. They've won 10 of 11 games. Win 18 of 20. That's what you got to do. Like, there's no room for regressing back to, well, we had a little hiccup. You got 3 weeks in the season. You can see the finish line. It's the bell lap. Here we go. We're at the top of the stretch. Be Rich Strike, for crying out loud. Anybody with Rich Strike knowledge? The greatest Kentucky Derby in the history of Kentucky Derbies. 2021. The dude was an 80-1 shot. 80-1 shot on Friday. Rich Strike wasn't even in the program. He wasn't even racing. And then Rich Strike, because of an injury to another horse, was a late scratch. No one goes off at 80-1. 80-1. And guess what? Rich Strike was in last place at the top of the stretch. And then started passing horses, got on the rail, and all of a sudden it's one of the greatest calls in the history of the Kentucky Derby. Because it was down to 2 horses, and then all of a sudden the announcer's like, and Rich Strike. Those are the Giants, man.
I got some percentages for you, Dan.
All right. Was that your way of saying enough of Kentucky Derby knowledge?
No, I was also going to say that this past Kentucky Derby, wasn't there a horse named Journalism?
There was. It was the favorite.
Yeah, of course. Journalism getting some run there.
Good knowledge.
All right. Updated this morning.
By the way, if
September
you
6th.
can find the 2021 Rich Strike, just give me the call.
I'll get the call.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. We got a top-tier operation going on back here. We might even deliver papers, too, now. You got us inspired. All right, to make the playoffs, Fangraphs gives the Giants a 6.2% chance
really
to make the playoffs. And a 0.2% chance to win the World Series.
Isn't that a little odd to you?
A little strange.
6%?
Do you think it should be higher?
Yeah.
I wonder if it takes into account schedule.
Well, you get the Colorado Rockies and Arizona, the bulk of the games remaining for you. Well, I guess because of the Dodgers. I mean, it's got to take into account the way the Padres are playing and the way the Mets are playing and the way the Giants are playing. But who the hell cares? I mean, Vegas has been wrong before.
So it also has a percentage to clinch the wild card, and the Giants' percentage to clinch the wild card is 5.7%, which is less than their odds to make the playoffs.
Wow,
so I guess it's accounting to the fact that they still might have a shot at the division as their other avenue into the postseason.
You mean catching the Dodgers?
I don't think it'll happen.
Well, they're not going to catch the Dodgers, although the Dodgers, I mean, since July 4th, they're almost like 10 games under 500. They're like 8 games or 9 games under 500 since that point. And that's a large sample size. So the Dodgers are not who we thought they were. And it's not about the pitching. Their pitching's back. Glasnow and those boys, Snell and Ohtani, they're all healthy. Bullpen's okay. They can't hit. Believe it or not, the Dodgers cannot hit. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, who's dinged up, and they're just not good offensively. Well, you know who is good offensively? It's the San Francisco Giants, led by who?
Cuckoo Gilbert.
Thank you. Cuckoo Gilbert, who is, I mean, I know Matos has played well, but Cuckoo's got to be in that lineup. I mean, Cuckoo Gilbert is just like, I think he's their emotional leader. He's nuts. The dude he's whacked. I love it. I love lunatics like this, man. Got a bit of a cold here. Swimming too much. But the San Francisco Giants, once again, are the St. Louis Cardinals. You know, I tried. Like, I'm throwing the Giants some love. And 888-957-9570. Believe you me, we are going Niners. In about 5 minutes, we'll go straight Niners. Christian McCaffrey really play against the Seattle Seahawks. You want to talk Seattle Seahawks football? It's a team that's going to mirror the San Francisco 49ers this year. They're going smash mouth. You want to get into all the variables. You want to break down McDonald's. You want to talk about, I've spent time in Seattle. I talked to a lot of people still out there in the 49ers. So many people worried about the wide receiver position. You know what? You're missing the boat there. It's not about the wide receivers, man. Focus on that D-line. We're going to get into all of that. But I'm trying to throw some love to the Gigantes, and we got about 4 more minutes if you want to get on the San Francisco Giants, because that's it for the rest of the show. And this is why we don't do the Giants. Where the hell is everybody? Your team is suddenly the hottest in baseball and looking to walk down the Mets and the Padres to get into the postseason, whereas everybody was playing taps about 10 days ago. But now San Francisco, thanks to that hitting and thanks to Cuckoo Gilbert, is a very, very good baseball team right now. I don't have the text line up right now, so bear with me. We'll get to the text line coming up in just a bit. Did we wake up Grandy? Grandy's one of those guys who looks like he sleeps until about noon.
Yeah, maybe. He's just got to check his phone. Then we'll get the text line up. Where's Mitch?
Oh,
That's what I was saying.
I don't know if we're going to... Do we give Mitch a run on this show?
The phone just rang back here, Dan.
All right, well, we'll get this caller in really quick. But 888-957-9570. You want to talk Giants, you got about 5 minutes. You got about 3 minutes. You're on the clock, as they like to say. So we can get into the San Francisco Giants. Then I'm going straight up NFL. I'm going to talk Seattle Seahawks, and I'm going to get into everybody in every angle. We'll start with Christian McCaffrey, and we may end things with Upton Stout. I mean, no stone will left unturned. So the Giants today take on the Cardinals, and they're back in it, ladies and gentlemen. They are back in the race. And who would have thought? Because it's the hitting right now. And the pitching is just good enough. All right. Giants, we got you. There's a caller. We'll keep it alive for a couple of minutes. You got a heartbeat. Off to San Jose. Give me Danny. Danny, what's going on, man?
Oh, man, it's great. I love the Giants right now, how they're playing. I like your show. You're giving them props. I mean, we want to talk about our Niners, but hello, what can you say about our Giants right now? They're winning at the right time. They're beating some tough teams, too. It's not like, Colorado is, hello. But they're also beating some great teams, That's how I feel. I think we got a chance at the wild card. What do you think?
Danny, well, just don't give me a chance. I want to know yes or no. Are they going to catch the Mets or the Padres, and will we be playing baseball in October?
Absolutely. We will be playing baseball in October. They got a lot of good hitting. The pitching's doing their job. I mean, I know we will be playing baseball in October. I'm excited about going to a day game. First one in a while. I've been going to evening games, so I'm excited to represent. They're going to beat the Dodgers on the 14th.
That boy, Danny. That boy. That's what I want to hear. Before you leave, I want to know, and you can be honest with me, what do you think of the new nickname for Drew Gilbert? He is now Cuckoo Gilbert.
I love it.
There you go.
That's awesome. That's a great name. Come on, that's original. Cuckoo Gilbert. He's a nut. He's a nut. He deserves that name.
Damn
right. You were right what you said. He's a lunatic.
All right, Danny. Thanks so much.
That's great.
There we go. All right, Cuckoo Gilbert sticks. I'm telling you, I know you work during the week and you see all the heavyweights, Willard and Dibs and all those boys. From now on, you just say, it's Cuckoo Gilbert. And they're like, what? You're like, the Kahuna has just renamed him. It's Cuckoo Gilbert.
I'm getting like Weird Al vibes from this nickname. Like you're Weird Al, Cuckoo Gilbert.
Weird Al Yankovic. All right, we've hit a break. Man, it's flying around. All right? I'll do the Giants for another segment if you're into it, but I need to hear from you. Otherwise, c'est la vie. And we're going straight up Niners. I want you to give me some NFL Films music when we come back. Not now, but some good NFL, because that's where we're at, baby. It is that time of the year. College football, the NFL. Well, yeah, U.S. Open's going on as well. But the National Football League is here. Dudes are shooting loogies. What the hell is Andre Carter doing, man? Spitting on people. But actually, I put that on Dak.
Jalen Carter.
I put that on Dak. I mean, come on, man. I know you're spitting on the dude's feet. It's one thing to spit at a dude's feet and then actually going straight up loogie to the guy's chest. But what are we doing here? Cowboys.
And that's what life's about.
All right, we come back. It's the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Christian McCaffrey, the latest on the calf, the Achilles tendonitis. We'll get into all of that. Dan Avone, Caddy Zach, Pasta, back after this.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings. Because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on OpenSignal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
NFL fans, Week 1 is your shot to play free and stack $1 million cash bag with DraftKings Pick 6, an official partner of the NFL. Here's how. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app, DraftKings' easiest way to play fantasy. Enter for free and pick more or less on 6 player stats for Week 1. Share your link with friends and add more cash to the bag and get bonus shots to win. Hit all 6 picks and you'll be splitting a bag that's already at $1 million or more. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code THEGAME. Opt in for free and start stacking entries for NFL Week 1. Zero cost, huge upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. Must claim token for free entry in Bag Builder contest. Only perfect entries earn share of cash prize. Tokens are single use and expire September 8th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on OpenSignal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Are you interested in being an install or service technician? Good news! R&S Doors and Gates is hiring. If you have good mechanical skills and a knowledge of power tools, welding, and motor controls, you should apply today. R&S Doors has openings to repair and install commercial overhead doors, entry doors, and loading dock equipment. You must be able to work in a professional, fast-paced environment. Call 800-FIX-A-DOOR and apply today. That's 800-FIX-A-DOOR or visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Now back to 95.7 The Game.
You know how excited I am right now? Monday Night Football theme and Rich Strike down the stretch. Like, there is nothing more on this planet that would get me more jacked and excited to do whatever than what it is that you just introed. Football is here. Can we do Rich Strike one more time, or is that...
Epicenter has taken the lead as they arrive into the final furlong. Sandin is coming after him. Epicenter and Sandin, these two, stride for stride. Simplification down the outside is next. They're coming down to the wire. Epicenter, Sandin. Rich Strike is coming up on the inside. Oh my goodness! The longest shot has won the Kentucky Derby. Rich Strike has done it in a stunning, unbelievable upset.
If Rich Strike can do it, San Francisco Giant fans and all you Giants, you can do it as well. 4 games is not unsurmountable. Not when you're going like this, man. You're at the top of the stretch. Vegas may be giving you less than a 5% chance to get there, but it's been done. Rich Strike, let that be your motivation. An 80-1 shot. All right. We got to do this? Apparently we do. We got our man. This man's been following me for the last 15 years. Every show that I've done, Mitch from New Jersey has been there. All right, Mitch, let's get this out of the way. What's on your mind as we go out to New Jersey? Let's join Mitch. Mitch, how are you today?
Hey Dan, how you doing? Just really loving the show now, and a good ball player. The Giants playing really good ball right now, and here from New Jersey, just loving the Rafa Devers. Devers, good player, good ball player. Hits the ball hard all the time. He knows how to do it, and good acquisition too. Just really good play. I think they need to go out and get another pitcher. Yeah, and I think they need to get another pitcher.
Are you still in the Bo Bichette?
Yeah, Bo Bichette, good player, good ball player. Just hits the ball hard. Just really big fan of him, and they need to get him now. Yeah, I think you'd add to shortstop. Bench Adames, not a good player.
All right, I can't do this anymore. That, of course, is Pasta. Pasta, come on. What are you doing?
Love you, Mitch.
Enough. Give me the real Mitch in New Jersey. Mitch, my apologies. I don't know what they're doing to me here. Do you give it? Did that sound like you?
Pretty much. You put a nail in the head. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can imitate myself. You guys do better than me.
I'm telling you, Pasta's becoming a rising star. I had no idea. I thought it was you. What's going on, man?
You guys are good. Thanks, Tim. Go on. Happy weekend. Finally, football to you. It's unbelievable how the Giants are playing. you gotta say, knock on wood that he didn't really dismantle the team. He kept in it. The hitting's come around. I like the new guy, Gilbert, and Adames and Devers showing their power. Maybe we'll have a 40 home run hitter. Pitching's been pretty good. The Dodgers, if they get first place, the Dodgers has to go down as one of the biggest chokes in ever. And San Diego, I think that there's more head scratching with San Diego than with the Dodgers. But you gotta like how we've been playing the last 10, 15 games.
Can I before you get out of here? Can I just hear you just tell me about Bo Bichette potentially coming to the Giants, and then just reiterate the word cuckoo Gilbert? 2 things I'm asking for you.
Bo Bichette, if he's a free agent, you have to go after this guy. Every time I look in the box score, this guy has multiple hit games.
Gotcha. That's one.
RBIs.
Okay.
That's one. And you said cuckoo Gilbert.
Cuckoo Gilbert. Thank you very much.
He's here to stay.
Mitch in New Jersey, we will see you next week. Thank you, my man.
Hey, Dan, the money lies in the RBIs.
He's still on, Bo Bichette. Oh, man. God bless that man. All right. Can you reset? The Giants are done for today. Unless you really want to get back into it, just give me Monday Night Football one more time so we can get back in to the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Ho! Niners! Hawks! Something's got to give. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Lumen's Field. We are sold out once again. It's the Niners and the Seahawks to kick off the 2 longtime NFC rivals alongside Pasta, Caddy Zach, and Mitch from New Jersey. We're going to screw this thing up for the next 4 hours. All right, let's talk about it. The San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks will do things tomorrow afternoon. You know that the 49ers have not won an afternoon game in Seattle going back to 2011, which is weird. I mean, they beat them on Thursday nights. They beat them on Sunday nights. They beat them on Monday nights. There's something about in the afternoon in Seattle where the 49ers going back to 2011 where they've come up empty. It's the middle of a bagel for them. But that's the task tomorrow. And the big question, of course, is Christian McCaffrey. And I'll just start there. Obviously, all eyes on him. And first thing, we'll just look at this from a journalistic standpoint, because I know that's where you live, Pasta. Pasta, of course, who writes, he edits, he does podcasts, and, of course, he works here. He is Mr. Captain Journalism around here. Because I know that in this day and age, with social media, when things go viral and things get aggregated, we go nuts, especially when it comes to Christian McCaffrey. And of all things, it could have been a shoulder, it could have been the knee, it could have been anything, but when it's the calf, right? And when the calf connected to that of the Achilles, and we hear bilateral Achilles tendonitis resurfacing once again, everybody loses their mind. And that's what happened the other day. And Christian McCaffrey was asked about it, and he talked about how things get blown out of proportion. And yes, there was rush to judgment, and everybody, I love it because there are these, everybody's got a podcast now, and everybody's doing breaking news podcast. Breaking news podcast. Matt Maiocco. I can mention Matt Maiocco, can I not? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Matt Maiocco did a breaking news podcast from his car. And usually, because I keep an eye on these things, especially when I'm flying back to San Francisco, I'll read and I'll keep an eye on some podcasts. And usually he's in a little studio, but he did it from his car. I can only imagine him and every other banana that's covering the 49ers when they found out that McCaffrey and the word questionable were sort of related with one another, and that he was questionable now for Sunday's game. Everyone just sprinted from the facilities to their respective cars and just fired up their little camera to do their quick podcast. Breaking news. Everybody trying to outdo everybody else. And then, we should wait until we have a credible source, or until officially we hear from Kyle Shanahan or somebody from the medical staff. I get it, but a lot of us just went nuts. And even McCaffrey said things got blown out of proportion. He says, I'm fine. Kyle Shanahan was evasive. And yes, a lot of us was the fans. It was the media. We go nuts with it, right? Are you kidding me? It's the last thing we wanted to hear. The last thing. We thought we were past this. It's been a year now, more than a year. With McCaffrey, the calf, the Achilles, the tendonitis, we're so familiar with it. And here we are on the eve of the start of the new season. And everything we've heard from him has been nothing but it's McCaffrey of old. We thought we were getting 2023 version of McCaffrey, that being the offensive player of the year, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere. Yeah, I don't feel right. And it's the calf. It's the Achilles. And then all hell breaks loose. The last thing that Kyle Shanahan wanted to hear. The last thing that any of us thought that we would hear at this point. But guess what? We didn't make that up. Yeah, we went a little crazy, a little overboard. Did we rush to conclusions? Did fans have something to say about it? Are people already taking him out and envisioning him not playing in this game? Yeah. But guess what? The injury is real. Him going on the IL or going and being listed as questionable. He's not on the IL. Him being listed as questionable, him pulling himself from practice, that's not on the media. That's not on the fans. That's real. Now, whether he was being over, precautionary, I mean, maybe. But something did happen. Whether it was a twinge, whether he felt something, but he didn't practice on Thursday and he didn't practice on Friday, and he's now listed as questionable. That's real. And I got to tell you, when we're talking about Christian McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers opening up a season, it is eerily familiar from what it is that we heard from Christian McCaffrey and Kyle Shanahan to a certain degree a year ago. Remember this time last year when Christian McCaffrey was asked about how he felt with the calf? After, of course, remember, he injured it towards the latter part of the previous season. And McCaffrey said, I'm fine. I'm good to go. And this is just before they were taking on the New York Jets. And then all of a sudden, just before kickoff, shocked the world, Jordan Mason was starting at running back. We didn't see McCaffrey for 9 weeks. And everybody was beside themselves. What the hell just happened? We just lost our most impactful player on offense. You just lost your best football player. When this cat goes, when Christian McCaffrey plays 10 or more games statistically, and this goes back to his days in Carolina, he is the best running back in the NFL. He's associated with winning. You are a good football team, and you have a better chance of winning with Christian McCaffrey healthy and doing his thing, whether it's running the football, but more importantly to me, it's being that check down valve or that swing route, but the ability to catch in space and then do his thing, or to be that extra receiver, to be that slot receiver, to run those wheel routes. That's Christian McCaffrey at his finest. And to not have him, listen, it was going to be challenging, I think, for the 49ers to get to the playoffs, even with McCaffrey. But without him, I don't know. And so to hear what it is that McCaffrey had to say yesterday sounded almost exactly like what it is that he said a year ago when he said, I'm fine, nothing to see here. And then all of us gathered around in your respective homes, bars, wherever the hell it is that you watch 49er football, and you're ready for the season to begin. All the talk of the offseason. It's a team that went to the Super Bowl, lost in overtime to Kansas City, all the excitement. The furthest thing from your mind was that McCaffrey wasn't going to play. And what happened? You turned it on, and sure enough, Christian McCaffrey was not available. Christian McCaffrey not only was not available for the opener, the dude almost missed the entire season. He played 4 games last year and was really irrelevant. 4 meaningless games. And here we go again. So if you were to ask me right now whether Christian McCaffrey is going to play in tomorrow's game, I would say no. Do I know something that you don't know? Right? This is all conjecture. It's the worst thing we should do, right? We should just wait until tomorrow, 90 minutes before kickoff, when officially you'll find out whether or not he's going to be playing in that football game. But it's the last thing that anybody wanted to hear, that Christian McCaffrey, once again, is unavailable. And if it's anything else, man, it's like all of us follow sports enough to know that when you talk Achilles, I just cringe. Like even an ACL, as bad as that is, ACLs, guys bounce back, right? Like we know the ACL used to be back in the day, that was a death sentence. If you tore your ACL back in the 90s, I mean, your career was in jeopardy. You weren't playing football again. Now it's what? It's about a year? Less than that sometimes. And I don't even like saying it. I even, I'll stay with the bilateral Achilles tendonitis, but we know what's going on here. And it's that Achilles tendon and that thing potentially snapping. We've seen it, man. Kevin Durant. Remember Kevin Durant? Oh, my calf is sore. All right, man. Well, can you play? Yeah. A couple of days later, he's back, and what happened? Boom. Out of the NBA Finals. Dude was gone for a year and a half. Snapped the Achilles. We've seen it. Kobe Bryant. It's just, for a running back, it's just, even when he comes back, and when he was playing last year, I would just cringe every time he would plant on that foot or be McCaffrey in the hole and just get to the outside and do McCaffrey type things. You're like, oh God, is he going to get up? Like, I can't tell you how many times I watched McCaffrey play last year, and I'm like, is he slow getting up? Because I'm just waiting, man. And I know that's not a good thing. And then maybe I just, they fed me the beast and I bought it. And they were talking about, no, the tendonitis is done. The calf is back and the Achilles is fine. That's all we heard over the offseason. The tendonitis is over. And all we heard is that McCaffrey was McCaffrey again. Reminiscent of the dude who was the best player, best offensive player in the game. And that's saying a lot in 2023. He was supposed to be that guy. But here's the thing. How do you really know unless you play, right? Unless you're playing football games. I mean, it can feel good during the off season, when you're lying in a lounge chair in Cabo. Yeah. The Achilles is fine. You do light workouts, Achilles is fine. You do all those stretching exercises. We see him go through the intro lines. We get these snapshots of him in practice, and yeah, everything's good with McCaffrey. But has he played a game? So a lot of this is just, it's the unknown, man. And right now, it just doesn't look good. And again, if you were to ask me, Christian McCaffrey is not playing in tomorrow's game. And that's nothing more than just reading the body language of one Kyle Shanahan and seeing enough of Kyle Shanahan where you're like, yeah, Shanahan is just, he's bummed. Even Shanahan, I think, bought into this. Is like, I got McCaffrey back. And we're just thinking about the things that he could do with McCaffrey. And I think even he's like, yeah, this sounds a lot like last year, man. And McCaffrey was trying to put that positive spin on it, that I'll be okay. Nothing to see here. I'm fine. He stopped short of saying, I'm going to play and start against the Seattle Seahawks. Did anybody hear that? I did not. What do you think, Poss? Is he going to play tomorrow?
I think I'm torn between whether thinking he did do something or if it's just precaution. But I can't see a situation where it's just precaution, to be honest with you. I do think something actually happened. And if it is precaution, then how many snaps is he going to get week one if he does play? And Achilles is just one of those, you mentioned it, you touched on it. It's one of those fragile areas that you just cringe whenever you hear of an injury there or any discomfort there or in the calf, because it's all connected. And KD is the best example that you used, and it's kind of terrifying. Do you want to hear from Kyle Shanahan? Do you want to hear what he said yesterday about everything?
You know how I feel about sound. Let's just get this out of the way. Unless you've got Allen Iverson we're talking about practice, unless you got Dan Campbell talking about biting dudes' kneecaps off, I don't want to hear from Bob Melvin or Kyle Shanahan unless we're trying to put my audience to sleep. No, actually, is this good from Shanahan? Let me hear from him.
Did not practice.
Was he able to do any team drills yesterday, Kyle, or what happened during practice yesterday with him?
Yeah, he did a limited amount of stuff in practice yesterday.
What's your level of concern with his physical condition and his ability to play on Sunday?
It's questionable concern. I'm not going to say anything about Christian Gus or any of our players' injuries.
Is it fair to say, because he wasn't on the injury report Wednesday, that this is something that occurred yesterday?
Yeah, it came up yesterday.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good from Shanahan. And maybe Shanahan, it's hijinks that he just does not want to tip his hand to Seattle, and he's making Seattle prepare for Brian Robinson Jr. as well as McCaffrey. I don't think so. I don't think there's any advantage in doing that at this juncture. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think that what it is that I think Kyle Shanahan has a tendency to wear his emotions on his sleeve. And I think that was Kyle Shanahan going, you got to be kidding me. We're going to do this again now? I think that was Kyle Shanahan just going, realizing that his fate has just been sealed, that he does not have Christian McCaffrey available. Hopefully in the short term. But again, when you're talking about the Achilles and that thing comes up and it's barking, and there's liability issues here. What if he does play and that thing gets snapped? I mean, people are very litigious in this world, and we all want to point a finger. And rest assured, we'll do a show pointing a finger at that medical staff and or Kyle Shanahan. So, yeah, everybody has to err on the side of caution here. It just doesn't look good. And I could be wrong because I don't know, man. None of us know until 90 minutes before kickoff when we'll find out officially as to whether Christian McCaffrey's a go and whether he gets green lit for that game against the Seattle Seahawks. But as of right now, it sounds eerily familiar like that of a year ago when Christian McCaffrey was saying, I'm fine, and then we didn't see him for 3/4 of the season. It drudged up those memories. And hopefully, he'll be back in uniform. But there's a good chance he's not. I'm just saying right now, I think the room is divided. You can go either way on this thing. If he's in uniform and he's starting at the tailback position alongside Juszczyk, or he's just out there, I think all of us will breathe a sigh of relief, even though I think all of us are going to hold his breath the first time he handles the football. And then if he's not there, I think a lot of us are going to go, yeah, I pretty much foresaw this. Could see this coming. All right. We'll talk about his replacement, Brian Robinson. We'll get into the defense. It's the Niners. It's the Seattle Seahawks. Your thoughts on Christian McCaffrey at 888-957-9570. Want to hear from you. Hit us on the text line, even though I can't see it. We'll do all of that and much more as we continue to talk about the San Francisco 49ers in the beginning of the 2025 season on 95.7 The Game.
When you own your own business, you own every decision. Catch the red eye or take the 6 a.m.
Make a new hire or promote internally.
Celebrate a win with a toast at the gate or unwind at the lounge.
Big props to this team.
Some decisions are a win-win. Like earning 8 times points on Chase Travel. Introducing Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business. With $2,500 in annual value, it's the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member of FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Game day just got an upgrade. Whether you're gearing up or winding down, Westfield Valley Fair is your go-to spot. Hit the latest gear at Shoe Palace. Grab bold bites at Shake Shack and Eataly. And catch the action on big screens at King's Fish House. From premium shopping to epic eats and entertainment, make every football Sunday legendary. Westfield Valley Fair, where football fans fuel up in style.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Bring home the all-new Naked Gun on digital now. See Liam Neeson like never before as Frank Draven Jr. as he leads the police squad in this outrageous comedy. Rated PG-13 from Paramount Pictures. For a chance to win a digital copy, visit the contest page at 957thegame.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Now back to 95.7 The Game.
I wonder how Tom Brady's going to be in year number 2. Nowhere to go but up for that man. That's, of course, the Fox iconic sort of jingle. You'll be hearing a lot of that. The NFL is back. Man, what a moneymaker that is. What are they, like $30 billion a year these days? It's good to own a franchise. You know what cracks me up is Jerry Jones. And we'll get into the San Francisco 49ers. Want to hear from you, 888-957-9570. We're talking about the latest on Christian McCaffrey. I'm on record as saying I don't think McCaffrey's going to go. I think it's very similar to what it is that we heard a year ago. I hope I'm wrong. All of us need to just wait, but none of us are patient. I get it. Until about an hour and a half before kickoff, before any of that sort of stuff is official. But it's just very similar to what it is that we went through last year when all of a sudden out of nowhere, Jordan Mason now was the starting running back. But yeah, just getting back to the NFL really quick. Jerry Jones cracks me up because I think a part of Jerry Jones, when I talk about how much money the NFL makes collectively in the billions of dollars, upwards to $30 billion a year, the 49ers are like somewhere around, I want to say $500, $600 million annually. Jerry Jones is one of the most profitable owners in all of professional sports. All of professional sports. That brand, the Dallas Cowboys, they print money. And I'm not saying anything you don't already know, but they haven't been good. It's been almost, 30, 35 years? 1994, when they went to an NFC championship game, yet everybody continues to talk about them. They kicked off the season. They're prime time. There they are, a nationally televised game for a team that, at least going into the season, was thought to be mediocre. They're mediocre every year. And my point is that Jerry Jones makes you talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Whether it's Micah Parsons, whether it's the Dak Prescott contract, whether it's just the shenanigans that are Jerry Jones, and he's brilliant at it. All he's trying to do is elicit conversation and continue to PR his brand. And he's like Barnum Bailey. He's amazing, man. And at the end of the day, everybody televises the Cowboys, talks about the Cowboys, either loves the Cowboys or hates the Cowboys, buys their merchandise, and as a result, that dude makes more money than anybody in the NFL. And forget about the NFL, talking about, I mean, this is true for soccer, basketball, baseball, nobody. The Dodgers, are you kidding me? They pale in comparison to what it is that this guy pulls down. And there's a method to his madness, man. But the NFL is definitely back, and the San Francisco 49ers here locally will kick things off to the Seattle Seahawks. Hey, Pastor, do we have I know the line opened at 2.5. I'm just wondering if that thing has moved now at the latest concerning one Christian McCaffrey and whether that's come down or not.
I'll get you that info.
But Christian McCaffrey, once again,
I think it's 1.5 now.
Oh, so it came down a full point. That's pretty significant. And at kickoff, if he's not going, that thing can just go off at even, I would think. I mean, that's how important Christian McCaffrey is to winning, right? I mean, he's so vital. All the things that he does, especially when you're talking about, well, you know, the wide receiver room is so depleted. You don't have Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel's out of the building. Well, you didn't really have to worry about that because you had Christian McCaffrey, who was sort of a hybrid wide receiver. There was a lot of talk. I know that people wanted to just put him in the slot full time. But he's so good running the football that's not necessarily a good idea. But he becomes, you know, this is like for you hardcore Niner fans, you remember Ricky Watters, right? Ricky Watters back in the day, he was actually a wide receiver at Notre Dame and then was converted into a tailback with the 49ers. But when the Niners would stretch things out and get into those spread formations, and he would line up as sort of that slot wide receiver, and nobody stretched the field or took the lid off as a running back / wide receiver in the NFL like that of Ricky Watters. Ricky Watters was like an additional wide receiver. Now, Christian McCaffrey doesn't have that sort of speed, or I don't think he has the ability to run those seam routes down the field like Ricky Watters. Ricky Watters is like an additional wide receiver, even though he was your featured running back. But in passing downs, that's who he was. He was like your third or fourth wide receiver. And that's Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey, again, he can't take the lid off like that of Ricky Watters, but he's another guy who's getting into he's getting into a pattern. He's getting into the route tree, the tree route, whatever the hell they call that thing. And he's just another option. And, you know, we know that the relationship that has been built between those two being on the same page as far as Brock Purdy and the likes of one Christian McCaffrey. So to not have him available, not only does it mean that the running game obviously takes a step back, but with your wide receiver room already decimated, to not have Christian McCaffrey available, well, that hurts even more because he's obviously, just like that, an additional wide receiver. So let's just assume that he's not going to play against the Seattle Seahawks. Again, I don't think he's going. 888-957-9570, what say you? Then it becomes this guy, Brian Robinson. Now look did I watch the Washington Commanders play every football game last year? No. But I'm a sickie like the rest of you. Like my man Caddy Zach. Caddy Zach, what do you got? Ticket and Red Zone? Where are you watching?
Sunday Ticket, Red Zone.
You got it all, right?
The package on YouTube TV.
So when you start your Sunday, you're watching football from what time to what time?
Yeah, probably about like 9:30. I mean, look, I have to get up, set my fantasy lineup, see who's out, do all that. So
about
probably then
9:30 in the morning?
I mean, realistically, like 8 o'clock, like
8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock, yeah.
In the morning, and then when are you signing off? Watching football all day, and then when is your last? Then you'll take it right through Sunday Night Football?
I might take a break like after the 1 p.m. games, just maybe take the dog to the dog park, but I'm watching Sunday night too, especially if it's a good matchup.
So there you go. I mean, a lot of you are like that as Zach. So you're watching football all day. I can't do that anymore, man. At one point, Caddy Zach, you'll get a life, man. Somebody will actually marry you or be your girlfriend. You got a girlfriend yet?
Yeah,
okay.
I've had one.
I love that, man. But my point is that I didn't watch a lot of Washington Commander football. I wasn't on the ticket. But I did see my fair share. I would watch the Commanders, especially when Jaden Daniels started to be a storyline out there. And I can tell you that Brian Robinson Jr., from a guy, and I'm sure a lot of you watched him play as well, watching Brian Robinson Jr. run the football, he's all right. I mean, there was nothing spectacular that jumped out at me when it came to Brian Robinson. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe somebody knows something more than I do. And I know that, it was a good move that they traded for him. Maybe the 49ers knew something all along was amiss with the calf and or the Achilles when it came to the likes of one Christian McCaffrey, because now that trade to get Brian Robinson, can you imagine where they would be without him right now? My point is that if he becomes the featured back, if he's the guy that's going to tote the rock the majority of the time, him and Isaac Guerendo, who once again resurfaces, if Guerendo and him are taking the lion's share, we've seen Guerendo. And if you're wondering what Brian Robinson's like, I mean, he's no Christian McCaffrey, right? Nobody is. But I just didn't think, watching him play with Washington, there's not like, whoa, that dude's just like, Jordan Mason would punish people, right? He put his head down and he's just running over you. And then there's guys who have, Jahmyr Gibbs, the ability to be elusive and get to the outside and break contain. And Brian Robinson is just, he's strong and he's fast, but there's nothing that really, there were no superlatives that I would throw his way when I watch him play a football game. When I watch Brian Robinson run the football, it's just like, yeah, good running back, but there's nothing sort of extraordinary about his running style, I guess is what it is that I'm saying. And so if you're expecting to be like, the second coming of a Gale Sayers, or they just got this running back that Washington gave up on that could be this hidden gem, I don't see that. Is he serviceable? Yeah. I mean, he's good to hopefully be somebody that can bide time until you get Christian McCaffrey back or until you're at full strength. But as of right now, when it comes to the 49ers not having Christian McCaffrey, that's a huge, huge blow as they open up things against the Seattle Seahawks. I'm looking at the text line, and somebody loves horse racing calls. Yeah, I'm telling you. Not to digress, but that horse racing call, when you're talking about something coming down the stretch, Pasta, especially with that call, because he hadn't said Rich Strike's name the entire race. Why would he? Like, Rich Strike, literally, if you watch that thing back, was in last place at the top of the stretch. He's in last place. How many horses are in front of him? And then he just starts passing everybody. And then he gets on the rail, and all of a sudden, this announcer who was just focused on, it was a 2-horse race, out of nowhere, he's like, Rich Strike! After not uttering this horse's name the entire race. That, Evan Giddings, aspiring sportscasters, that's how you do it, man.
Oh my God, I'm salivating.
Dan, by the way, I think he called a few games this week for the San Jose Giants. One Evan Giddings.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he's showing up in the California League and performing.
Wow, how'd he do? Did you listen?
I listened to a few. I'll show you at the break. I'll show you a few of his calls at the break. The San Jose Giants posted highlights, and Evan is like the star of the show in the highlights. Did a great job.
Nice, man. We just got to fast track him to the San Francisco Giants.
No, we got to fast track him to the Kentucky Derby.
Wow, that's another animal. Because
I see what you did there.
Yeah, exactly. That is that's a little bit more nuanced. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's because those things. What's interesting when you're calling a game or you're calling a race like that, which I've done a few, right? Like, you have to balance between watching what's on the monitor and then watching in real time. And there's video of those guys calling the Kentucky Derby, and they're going back and forth, and they literally have got the binoculars on the horse while calling the race.
Have you covered a Kentucky Derby?
Yeah.
So do you feel
Smarty Jones. Do you remember there was a horse out of Philadelphia called Smarty Jones that was going for the Triple Crown? I did the Derby, and I did the Belmont Stakes, and everybody thought it was going to be the first Triple Crown winner since Secretariat. And I flew all the way to Belmont, New York to cover this race. It became a national story. And there was Smarty Jones. And Smarty Jones was a great story because Philadelphia, Rocky, it's sort of like the underdog. It was like this little horse, man. It looked like a big dog. It looked like a lab, or it looked like one of those Great Danes. And then you had all these thoroughbreds. And there was this like Smarty Jones. That's another great thing about Rich Strike. I think, you know how they auction off these horses and people bid for them and people pay millions and millions of dollars? I think somebody got somebody got Rich Strike for like, I don't know, $150. I'm exaggerating here, but it was like in the low thousands, literally.
What if we had a horse at the station? We just bring him in, we care for it. It's got a spot here in the studio somewhere. See it every day.
What would we call it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Get that thing in the Derby.
Yeah. No, I got a question for you about the Kentucky Derby real quick. Then we'll get back to actual, stuff that people care about. Did you ever feel like as a member of the media that it was just, and I know people that bet on this maybe don't feel this way, but did you ever feel that it was a waste of time? Just like you go through all this hassle, the networks go through all this hassle to cover this event, and it's like 6 minutes long. I would be frustrated.
Okay, well, now maybe I don't understand the question, but everybody knows that when it comes to the Derby or when it comes to the Belmont Stakes or when it comes to the Preakness, it's not as though it's an event that's scheduled for an hour and a half and suddenly it's just been reduced to 6 minutes.
Well, you're not robbed or anything, everybody knows, but...
It's the most, have you ever heard the phrase, it's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports?
I have.
So, I mean, you go into it knowing that it's going to be, comparatively speaking, to a baseball game or a football or a basketball game, it's going to be very abrupt. It's going to be, in terms of time, it's going to be very abbreviated. But yeah, that's the beauty of the Derby. It's all of that. You know what makes the Kentucky Derby? It's, first of all, the playing of My Kentucky Home. That's another thing you can bring up. It's the playing of the My... Why are we talking about the Derby? The Derby isn't until May.
I was thinking the same thing.
But it's the playing of My Old Kentucky Home, right? And then it's all the stuff, looking at the horses in the paddock, the horses walking into the gate. Some horses are jumpy. Everybody getting excited. They've been talking about the Derby for weeks. And all of a sudden, the horses are making their way. And now they're in the gate. And you see the horses with their blinders. And then when the gate opens, it's that crescendo, man. I'll take you to a Derby. We'll have a mint julep. You can wear a funny hat.
You know who could use Rich Strike?
Who?
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, that's a good way to segue and get us back on track. Thank you very much.
I guess Kyle Shanahan, for that matter.
Yeah, so the 49ers, well, listen, if you want to get into McCaffrey, we're here for you, 888-957-9570. I'm a little surprised that you guys thank you, I'm reading the text line. Yeah, we all do love the Derby, but I'm surprised that more people aren't excited about the fact that the 49ers, first of all, it's not excited is not the right word, but are alarmed that we're doing this again. And that we could be starting a season without Christian McCaffrey. And why was it the second to last practice before this happened? Again, I have my thoughts because it's the Achilles, for crying out loud, man. That thing always wins. But when we talk about the 49ers, I do want to talk about their quarterback one, Brock Purdy. And if you want to get into Christian McCaffrey, we'll go back to the kid out of Stanford. By the way, go Cal. Can we get a pronunciation on that quarterback's name for Cal? I called up.
I know who you're talking about. That's going to be hard. I'll get it.
Javon Kavea. Pungo Solatele. I was giving Evan a hard time because, I got some Hawaiian roots, and I'm like, my man, do not abbreviate that dude's name. But anyways, Brock Purdy. Why can't every quarterback's name just be Brock Purdy? But Brock Purdy right now, I think, is just in a good headspace, man. If you want to talk about Brock Purdy, we'll get into McCaffrey, but just to switch things to the quarterback. And it's interesting because in our quote-unquote rundowns, when we're talking about the 49ers, I mean, think about it a year ago. Oh, my God. Ad nauseum. It was Brock Purdy. Are they going to re-sign him? Is he worthy of the contract? What are they going to pay for the guy? Is he a system quarterback? I mean, it fueled, I would say, this time a year ago, about 95% of the shows here at 95.7 The Game and everywhere else here in the Bay Area. It was all about Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy. And now he's like an afterthought. Now it's like, in terms of the pecking order, it's like Christian McCaffrey, wide receivers, defensive line, and, Brock Purdy. And I think he prefers it that way. I think that dude is in such a good space right now. And he is confident. And let's not forget that things are slowing down for him. I think he's clearly going to be the leader of this team. I know he's sort of an old soul and has been a leader right from the outset. But I think this is slowly going to morph into Brock Purdy's team. Now, Trent Williams will always have something to say, and he'll supersede, as will George Kittle in the huddle. But eventually, this is the first step of him grabbing the mantle and saying, "This is now my football team." And I think Brock Purdy is going to be. I think he's going to have one of his best seasons, if not his best season to date. Just because the confidence is there, he doesn't have to worry about the contract. He doesn't have to insulate himself and turn off social media. Everything was Brock Purdy is not worthy of the money. Oh, yeah, pay Brock Purdy. How much you going to pay him? All of that a year ago, for crying out loud. Now it's done. He's been paid, and he can just go out and ball. Now, look, is he as good as Mahomes? Is he one of those top-tier quarterbacks? Is he as good as Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson? No. If you want to make the argument, that's fine, but he's not. Is he the perfect quarterback to execute Kyle Shanahan's offense and what it is that schematically Kyle Shanahan wants to do? Yeah, man, that's the only prism by which you need to look at this thing. Kyle Shanahan could not invent a better quarterback in the lab than that of Brock Purdy. That's the reason why Kyle Shanahan coveted somebody like that at Kirk Cousins. He wants guys like Brock Purdy. He wants guys that are accurate, that know where to go with the football, and then play within his limitations. Now, it's good from time to time that he can extend plays. He can break contain. We saw him, go for broke and wind up and let her rip and throwing downfield more than he ever has a year ago. And there's times when he can improvise, but for the most part, he is the perfect quarterback for what it is that Kyle Shanahan is trying to do. What's Kyle Shanahan trying to do? Well, as innovative as he is offensively, he's always looking for that advantage, and he just needs a quarterback that can execute. Kyle Shanahan, basically, what he should say to a young quarterback like that of Brock Purdy, I don't know if they have this conversation, but essentially what he should say is like, hey, listen, Brock, if you could just listen to what it is that I say, if you could be accurate with the football, right? If you can reduce mistakes, I'll get you paid, all right? I'll get you, your wife, your kids, their kids, your grandkids, kids. They'll be set for eternity if you just listen to what it is that I say. Just be accurate with the football and throw the football to the guy that I have listed for you in terms of your progression. And you'll get a contract. You'll get a couple of contracts. I'll make you some money, my man. Did we get Pogatelli's name?
Okay, I'm going to butcher this.
Come on, Hallie boy.
Songapulu.
No, give me his first name. You can handle Javon, right?
Jaron Canute?
No, it's not Canute Rockney.
No,
it's Kavea.
Kavea. Okay.
Oh, my God. Have you
Jaron
ever been to Hawaii?
Kavea.
Have you been... Pasta. Wait, 1 second. Have you been to Hawaii?
I've never been to Hawaii.
Okay, I'm taking you there.
I've been out of this country one time in my life. I went to Mexico on a cruise.
I don't know why you make me giggle. What the fuck's calling a cruise?
That was the extent.
I'm taking you to Hawaii, and I'm taking you to Waianae.
Are you gonna make me swim in the ocean?
No, but I'm going to take you to a place where they haven't seen, a white person in like 25 years. So if you end up with like an apple in your mouth being rotated on a spit, that's on you.
I want the whole experience.
So go ahead. Try and pronounce this name for me.
Songapolutelli.
Songapolutelli. But and his first name is?
Jaron Ken.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's Jaron Kavea Songapolutelli. Come on, say it with
Jaron Kavea Songapolutelli.
No, it's not a converter belt. It's not a conveyor belt. It's Kavea.
Jaron Kavea Songapolutelli.
Oh, you're a local boy. 2 scoop rice for you.
My Reardon education.
Right on. He is the new sensation, by the way, as I digress. We'll get into the 49ers, but this dude is the best quarterback Cal has had since Aaron Rodgers. Cal's finally got a quarterback. The only problem is that, I don't know, enjoy him for a few more games because he sure as hell ain't going to be around next year.
Also, I know that to the YouTube chat that's going off, I do know that Hawaii is still in the country. But I was talking about not connected to anything, and
What did they say in the YouTube chat?
They said, "Does he know that Hawaii is still in the United States?"
It's the 50th state.
Yeah. Well, at least I know our geography. You might not think so, but I do.
I'm telling you, this kid is, and he's a left-hander, man. But the problem is that he's going to get in that transfer portal. Come on, Songapolutelli, hang out, man, hang out.
Oh, real quick, there's the tight end for Cal. One of the tight ends is a Pacifica kid.
Oh, is that right?
Shout out Mason Minnie, Terra Nova High School.
Terra Nova's not in the Pacifica.
Terra Nova High School is in Pacifica.
Is it?
I live right down the street from it.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking Terra Linda.
Terra Linda, who knows where that is?
That's in Marin County. So, Terra Nova, yeah, all right. Terra Nova, Pacifica High School, all right. Or Pacifica, the location. Nice. I'm telling you, Cal football is this kid he's real deal, man. But again, this transfer portal, he'll be in Alabama next year, or Ohio State, or he's going to be in some big program, All right. And by the way, before we leave college football, North Carolina and Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. Boy, Bill Belichick, could you have done more to ruin what it is that you had built? An entire lifetime of building out there in New England. I mean, first of all, it's almost as if he just said, I'm going to take a hammer to my reputation. He's got this woman who's 50 years younger than him.
Not talking about this.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jordan Hudson, who's telling him what it is that he should wear, literally pulling up his pants. And now he's the head coach of North Carolina and just got run by TCU. Oh, poor Bill Belichick. All right, but let's get into the San Francisco 49ers. I promise we'll do that for you. Where the hell are the callers? 888-957-9570. Let's go 49ers as they take on the Seattle Seahawks. I want to talk defense. I think Brock Purdy's in a great headspace. He got paid. We're not even talking about him. He's going to go nuts. But nuts for Brock Purdy, again, is just playing within the structure of what it is that Kyle Shanahan wants him to do. All right? He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not a top-tier quarterback, but you don't need that. Time to talk a little defense. How do you feel about that defensive front? Because Seattle's going to run right the hell at you. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the San Francisco 49ers on the eve of their opener against the Seattle Seahawks here on 95.7 The Game.
I knew that I was not living the life that I wanted to live. Buprenorphine, it gave me the time and space to take life one step at a time. I am living proof that recovery is possible.
Get treatment. It works. Learn more. Visit livingproofsf.org.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included, for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on OpenSignal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Fox One is now live. It's the new way to stream all your Fox favorites all in one place. That means NFL Sundays and college football games, breaking news with the Fox voices you trust, and your favorite shows streamed as they happen so nothing gets spoiled. With Fox One, you get it all live. Edge of your seat plays, jaw-dropping moments, and that feeling like you're right there in the action. Start your 7-day trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions. Fox One, we live for live. Streaming now.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Now back to 95.7 The Game.
What the hell is that?
It's the Amazon one.
Oh. What do you think of the Amazon coverage?
It's okay.
Who's doing the play-by-play on Amazon?
I think Al Michaels, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Al's getting old, man. Still good. It's Al Michaels, for crying out loud. Al Michaels, who, by the way, called San Francisco Giant games. You knew that?
I did know that. He was also the play-by-play guy in the 70s for the Big Red Machine.
Oh, that's right. Was that before he came to San Francisco or after?
That was before.
And you know, if you can tell me where he was before that, before his major league career started, because Pasta is, I think he's supplanted anybody here at 95.7 The Game when it comes to useless knowledge and when it comes to trivia when it's into sports. Well, I'm gonna steal this one from you. He was, and I only know this because I obviously have ties to the island. He used to call Hawaii Islander games. Hawaii used to have a AAA affiliate. The Hawaii Islanders used to be the AAA affiliate of that of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he used to, Al Michaels used to do games. And he also worked for a radio station that I, many, many, many years later would end up working at, KHVH. So Al Michaels started in Hawaii. He goes to the Giants, Cincinnati, ABC Sports. You know the year that Al Michaels was calling the game for ABC Sports for the Bay Bridge World Series. And obviously we had the Loma Prieta earthquake, which really, when you think back in retrospect, how nuts is that? You have the Bay Bridge World Series and the Bay Bridge collapses. I mean, that's crazy. So you had the earthquake, and that was Game 3. I don't know what game it was. He got an Emmy Award for his coverage, but he didn't get the Emmy for sports. He got the Emmy for news. Like, that's pretty amazing. Like, literally, he turned into this news broadcaster and got the Emmy for his coverage on what was taking place, not only, at then Candlestick Park in the earthquake in 1989, but also what was happening around the Bay Area and all this information that he was gathered at the time in real time and providing information to people. And he would win the News Emmy, which is pretty remarkable and just shows you how talented he was. By the way, I'm going to suggest a movie to all of you, especially you kids behind the glass. It's called September 5th. I don't know if you've seen it. So it has to do with the 1972 Olympic Games, and it has to do from a journalistic standpoint because ABC had the coverage of the Olympics. And that's when they had the terrorist would take all the Israeli athletes hostage, and it just gets into the power struggle with Roone Arledge, who ran ABC Sports at the time. They were the only ones there in Munich, Germany, covering the Olympics. And ABC's like, well, we got to send our news team. This is now a news story. And Roone Arledge is like, no. Jim McKay is going to anchor this as a sports guy, but he will do it. We're not giving this away to news. Anyways, I digress. September 5th.
Real quick, do you want to hear one more Al Michaels fun fact?
Sure.
He also was doing news coverage the day O.J. Simpson was going down the freeway in the car chase.
He was doing news coverage for...
He called in to one of the stations, I believe, might have been ABC, and he was friends with O.J., had a relationship with him, and he basically talked about what was happening. And I think he won something for that, too. He might have. I'll have to double check.
But you're
on
not
that.
mistaking him for Bob Costas.
No. Al Michaels was involved in the O.J. coverage somehow. I just don't know how. I'll look. I'll get back to you on that.
All right. Why the hell are we talking about Al Michaels? Oh, we had a little base. So there's some baseball. And apparently, I want to get into the 49ers. We're here to talk about the 49ers for you, but the Cuckoo Gilbert, we have renamed the new right fielder for the San Francisco Giants, is no longer Drew Gilbert. It's Cuckoo Gilbert because the dude is certifiable, which is a beautiful thing. And somebody's saying he's the most impactful rookie since Will to Thrill. I mean, that's going a ways. I mean, Cuckoo Gilbert hasn't done that much, but I just like the fact that he's re-energized that team, that they got a personality. They got a nut, man. He's a nut. I love nuts. And he's good. The dude is just like, he's squared up everything these days. But Drew Gilbert, Cuckoo Gilbert, is the straw that is stirring the San Francisco Giants right now. Do you remember Will Clark's debut? Was that before you?
I know what happened.
Okay, take us through it.
Opening day, Houston Astrodome, Nolan Ryan on the mound, and Will Clark took him dead center.
First pitch. And you know what's funny is that, and this is how old school Nolan Ryan is, and also Will Clark to a certain degree. So Nolan Ryan gives up that home run, in the first major league pitch that Will Clark ever saw. So years later, obviously, Will Clark leaves the San Francisco Giants and goes to play for the Texas Rangers. And at the time, Nolan Ryan was like the president of baseball ops, or he had a high, lofty executive position. He was like the president of the team with the Texas Rangers. Will Clark will relay this story from time to time. His entire time with the Texas Rangers, Nolan Ryan never said a word to him. I mean, that's old school, man. It's like, I don't forget. You can only imagine, that if Nolan Ryan ever saw him again, he would buzz the towers, they like to say. Wow, somebody's saying that they were in Munich that day? Wow. All right.
We got to get that guy to call in.
Yeah, if that's true, you might want to call us in, but you got to verify that. Somebody says that they were at the Olympic Stadium in Munich that day that the news broke that terrorists had broken into the Olympic Village and had taken the Israeli athletes and coaches as hostage. And Jim McKay always has that famous line, because there was uncertainty, because it got so crazy. The hostages wanted to transport, the terrorists wanted to transport the hostages to Cairo. And in their demands, they wanted to be taken by helicopter to the local airport in Munich, and then they were going to take this flight to Cairo. And it was all laid out, and they took the helicopter to the airport, and that's when it all came to its climactic ending, which was one of the saddest days in the history of sports, because ABC, and they say this in the movie September 5th, got it wrong initially. Jim McKay reports, because they got a faulty report, that the hostages have been freed, and then moments later Jim McKay has to come back on the air, and it's that iconic phrase that anybody who's old enough still remembers and echoes to this day: they are all gone. But if you were at Olympic Stadium in Munich that day, we'd love to hear from you. All right. Oh, okay. Apparently we do. Let's get out to Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers are going to have to stay on hold for a bit, because we're going out to Gil. And Gil, who was at the Munich Olympic Games and knows exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Gil, please tell me what it is that you just relayed on the text line, and were you indeed in Munich?
Can you guys hear me?
I got you.
Yes, I was there. My family was there. We camped. We went low budget. We were camping. We took the underground to the stadium, and we walked up the hill of the stadium, and there was no one around. We couldn't figure out what the hell was happening. Got to the stadium. The gates were locked. We asked somebody what's going on. They said, everything's canceled today. There's a hostage situation at the Olympic Village. And from where we were standing, we could turn 180 degrees and look across the village to the Olympic Village where the athletes lived, and there were helicopters circling over it and all that stuff. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I turned 12 at those Olympics.
Wow. So do you mind if I ask, were you living abroad, or were you from the United States and you traveled to the...
No, yeah, correct. We were from the United States, and we traveled there for the Olympics. We had hosted an exchange student years before, and he promised us he would get us tickets for the Olympics.
Wow. And that's a year, of course, Mark Spitz was at the 7 gold medals.
Yep.
And in the Olympics.
Correct. And Frank Shorter won the marathon.
And the basketball.
Frank Shorter won the marathon that year.
And the basketball team would get robbed by the Russians.
Got completely ripped off by the IOC. Yep, you are correct. And those silver medals are still sitting in a vault. The U.S. team has refused to ever accept them.
All right, Gil, I got to let you go because there's about 8 people in the audience that know what the hell it is that you're talking about. But I'm going to strongly recommend that. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a movie called September 5th that I want you to watch. All right?
I have seen it.
Oh, you
I have seen it. And it's funny because that whole Jim McKay thing you're talking about, it's very iconic. But I never saw it until 30 years later because I was over there. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's amazing.
So I saw that in a different way. Yeah. Anyway, when you guys started talking about it, I said, yep, I know exactly what they're talking about.
Our reach goes everywhere here at 95.7 The Game on Saturday. There's nothing that we will not talk about. All right, thank you so much, Gil. And apparently, it was not the first pitch. I didn't think so. when Will Clark hit that home run against Nolan Ryan. But it was his first Major League at bat, and he took Nolan Ryan out of the yard. San Francisco Giants, by the way, have climbed to within 4 games of that of the Padres, who are sinking like a stone, and 4 games of that of the New York Mets, who actually are playing a little bit better. But both of those cities, I'm telling you, I spent enough time in New York, and you know New York and San Diego, what's creeping in the back of their minds is just like, oh no, here we go again. It's the Padres, man. We're gonna fade, and the Giants are gonna catch us. We've been through this before. It's exactly what the Giants did to this team the first time they won a World Series back in 2010. It was the Padres, if you recall, had that supposed unsurmountable lead. And so Giants baseball is relevant once again thanks to who? Cuckoo Gilbert, who has become the centerpiece of this baseball team. You want to talk Giants? You think they got a shot? 888-957-9570. I just don't think they have enough pitching now is what scares me to get them to the finish line. But if they hit like this, who the hell needs to pitch? And, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. I wanted to get into the defensive line because, so much, I get it. The wide receiver position is so sexy, and everybody focuses on the wide receiver. I mean, they do the best dances, I would say, if you were to poll the wide receiver, that position group dances the best when they get to the end zone. They're the best looking dudes in their uniforms. And it's the wide receiver at the end of the day. It's the sexy position, and everybody wants to focus on it. And everybody for the last couple of months, oh my goodness, there is no Debo. Brandon Ayuk is out. What are they going to do? Wide receiver, wide receiver. I always felt they'd be fine. Right? I think that Ricky Pearsall is going to be your X. I think he's going to be your number 1. And then we'll see where Jawan Jennings is. Maybe Jawan Jennings becomes the number 1. But now that you have Jawan Jennings, you're fine at wide receiver, right? You got Marquez, Valdez, Scantling. I mean, ideally, you'd like to get DeMarcus Robinson back in the building. You'd like to get, obviously, Brandon Ayuk back at full strength. But in the interim, you'll be fine. That is, when you were under the impression that you had the services of one Christian McCaffrey. And now without him, that sort of changes things. But I do think that when you're talking about the 49ers, it's not the fact, it is a concern, but it's not the fact that you have a depleted wide receiver room. It's that defensive line. Because I will tell you what it is that Seattle's going to do. And it's, I'm sure for those of you that follow the Niners, you know exactly where it is that I'm going with this. They're going to run right at you. The Seattle Seahawks are, they're going to try and be the 49ers. That's exactly who they want to be. And with Kubiak now as their offensive coordinator, that's exactly the way they've designed this football team, is that they want to go between the tackles. It's that outside zone, yes, that started with Kyle Shanahan, actually started with his pops or Bobby Turner, going back to the days of the Denver Broncos when they would just turn out 1,000-yard rushes, whether it was Orlandis Gary or whether it was Terrell Davis. Every year somebody would rush for 1,000 yards. And it was due in large part because of schematically what it is that Mike Shanahan had created. And now it's been handed down to his son, and this being a copycat league, everybody is running at least a variation thereof of that outside zone. Seattle, it's not a variation. It's not they're going to run some outside zone. They are literally designing their football team offensively to be like that of the San Francisco 49ers. That's what Kubiak was brought in to do, is do what it is that you learned in San Francisco right here in Seattle. And then Mike McDonald's like, I got the defense. Like I know how to handle the defense. And that defense got very incrementally, but very good towards the latter part of the season. And it's one of those complex defenses that for Seattle, it gets better as the years go by. And so they're expecting big things out of the defense. The questions for Seattle is that offensive line, but in terms of what it is they want to do, it's the outside zone run. And they they have a mirror image of what it is that the 49ers want to do. It's the 49ers are going to be looking into a mirror, and it's as though it's an interleague or it's an inter scrimmage. It's as though they're playing themselves. Because Seattle is doing the exact same thing. And when the 49ers do play teams that implement the exact same running scheme, that outside zone run, guess what? You wouldn't think this, but the 49ers are terrible at stopping it. In fact, one of the worst in the NFL. And that's exactly what they're going to see tomorrow. And the question now becomes, because what Seattle is going to do and what just about every team that's going to play the 49ers, they know what your weak spot is, and they're going to exploit it until you can prove otherwise, until you can prove that you can stop the run, and you can prove that Mykel Williams is legit, that Alfred Collins is for real, and that this kid C.J. West, all three guys that they drafted, are legitimate to go along with, everybody else that they're going to plug in the middle there with Khalil Davis and Jordan Elliott. And that's the issue I have with the 49ers. Is that, Khalil Davis is good. I mean, Jordan Elliott is all right, I guess. But what happened to the stars? Like, this team is now void of stars on that side of the ball. You got Bosa, who's legit. You got Fred Warner, who's legit. But it used to be Fred Warner, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, D. Ford. It used to be Drake Greenlaw. It used to be Richard Sherman. It used to be Talanoa Hufanga. You had budding stars and or legitimate all-Pro Bowl performers. You had names on the defensive side of the ball. And so when you look at it now, I get it, is that you went young and you got into the draft and you're trying to find the stars of tomorrow. But who's, aside from Bosa and Warner, and those are two very, very good players, but it just seems like over the years, the 49ers have lost stars and not replenished them with anybody. Namely, DJ Jones. He was the best in the NFL in terms of stopping the run. He leaves, and who'd you replace him with? Well, I don't know, 35 different guys. Javon Kinlaw replaces Eric Armstead, supposedly, or DeForest Buckner. That didn't work out. So you once were loaded, and back in 2019, the last time that, Robert Saleh obviously wasn't the last time he was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, but that's when it all started for him. But they had a star-studded cast. And over the years, guys have left. Richard Sherman in retirement. DeForest Buckner, a bad trade. Eric Armstead out the door. And it's not like Kansas City where you lose guys, but you're bringing and you're drafting well and you're bringing in more stars. For Seattle, for the 49ers, it's just been a one-way street. These guys leave, and then, you get average players in return. That's the first thing that jumps out at me when I look at this defense is like, what happened to all the stars that used to patrol that side of the ball? And now it's a defensive line that's just going to rely on these kids. And hopefully, because we don't know, that's the best thing about playing youngsters, is that, you hope that they develop into being something and maybe they're impactful right off the jump. But nobody knows what you're going to get out of. Even Mykel Williams, who looks, by all indications, even though he didn't play in the preseason, that he's legit. Bosa's taken him under his wing, likes this guy. Same thing with Alfred Collins, although it looked as though he was slow to start and a little a little beyond his skis here. Somebody that looked as though he was a guy that needed to catch up more than the other rookies. But none of them have played enough for us to have any idea what it is that we can expect, especially when they're going to get thrown into the mix against a team that is going to go right at them. And that is the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are going to run right at that football team. And they're going to say, prove to me that Jordan Elliott is good. Prove to me that Khalil Davis, that Alfred Collins, that Mykel Williams can shed blocks and stop what it is that we want to do offensively. And until that happens, they're just going to look to gash San Francisco. And then, at least for Seattle, they think playing into the strength of their new quarterback, Sam Darnold, is to go play action and then go up top. I mean, listen, 49er football, the outside zone running is sort of beyond my pay grade in terms of trying to understand it. Schematically, it's really sort of complex. But at the end of the day, fundamentally, it's pretty basic what it is that the 49ers want to do, what it is that Seattle does, and what it is that just about every football team wants to do is that you establish that run, right? And then you have linebackers that are hedging, or you get cornerbacks that are peeking into the backfield that are reading run, and that's when you go play action, and that's when you get those seam routes. That's when you open things up, is when you have people biting on the run. And that's when Sam Darnold, a year ago, was at his most effective in the play action. That's exactly why they drafted him. Or not drafted, that's why they traded for him. That's exactly the position they want to put him in. They know they don't have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You can't just throw the ball up to those guys when Jefferson beat the Niners for that 97-yard touchdown. That's not going to happen. The reason they got him is play action. Establish the run, play to the strength of Sam Darnold, which is that play action. Let's get out to the phone lines. Dave's in San Jose wants to talk about Debo apparently is not going to have a good year. What's up, Dave?
What's going on? So, fellas, I just want to bring up that, I'm not even mad that we lost Debo. And the reason why is I think we all can agree, as a running back, he hasn't been successful since 2019. When he lines up back there, it just doesn't work anymore. And so now he has to be a receiver, and his route tree has never been great. So losing him, I don't think is going to make an impact. I think you talking about the defensive line, Bryce Huff is going to do some major things for us on the other side of the line. I think Mikael Williams is going to be solid, and I'm actually excited about making those young receivers do what they're supposed to do. Right? I'm excited about that. Let's see what they got. And then, Ricky's going to be fine, but when Brandon comes back, I think he's going to be normal Brandon. So I'm worried about Christian, but I think what I'm saying is I like the fact that we have young guys that can do it, and I think the pressure just needs to be on them. I think they're going to perform. That's all I got, fellas.
Good job, Dave. Yeah, I think Ricky Pierce, I'm with you. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be, eventually he's going to be the number one. I think he's going to be a leader on this team. I think he's going to be good. The only problem I have, and we don't know, we've only seen a brief sample size, but he was good in that Monday night game against Detroit, and he was good against Arizona, and hopefully he keeps that going this year. The only issue I have, if you're relying on Ricky Pearsall as well as Juwan Jennings, is that I just don't know how much separation you're going to get until you get Brandon Ayuk back in the building, or until you get somebody that can separate, right? Otherwise, it's tight windows for that of Brock Purdy. And you'd like to get somebody who can ideally just take the lid off, somebody who can stretch the defense. Juwan Jennings can do that from time to time, but that's my only concern. I'm with you. I like Ricky Pearsall. I think Ricky Pearsall will be fine. I think that those two over time are really going to develop a special sort of chemistry and relationship. I'm talking about Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall. But again, you need someone to offset what it is that Ricky Pearsall would be a great possession receiver. And ideally, you like to offset that with somebody who can be a little bit more dynamic. Dynamic in that he can take the lid off or can stretch the defense. Right now, they just don't have anybody that's available on their roster. Yeah, Bryce Huff is, somebody that Robert Saleh certainly is intimately familiar with. It's the reason why he's on this team, for what it is that he did with the Jets a couple of years back, double digits in sacks. But are you with me? Are there any stars on this team defensively anymore? Fred Warner, yes. Nick Bosa, yes. But what happened to all the other guys? And now it just seems like a bunch of dudes. It's a bunch of guys that are like, maybe they can be good in a couple of years. But that's what this is going to come down to. Can you stop Seattle when they want to run the football? Your thoughts on 888-957-9570 right here on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, it's Willard Dibs for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for Safeway members. And as always, save up to 20% weekly on hundreds of exclusive offers with For You on the Safeway app. I hear you, Dibs. That means that Signature Select Chicken Split Breast, Thighs, Drumsticks, Value Pack, or Foster Farms Fresh and Natural Whole Chicken, buy one, get one free of equal or lesser value, when you buy two. Everybody's now letting on the joke, and we need some side dishes.
How about fruits? Fresh cut fruits, veggies, dips, salsas, parfaits, or trays. Buy two, get one free of equal or lesser value when you buy three. Or Progresso soup, 18 to 19 ounce size cans, selected varieties. Buy two, get two free of equal or lesser value when you buy four. There's no sound for soup, Mark.
No, there isn't, but I do love a Progresso party. These and other great digital deals are available in the For You section on the Safeway app. Just download the weekly deals to your account, and they automatically deduct at checkout. How cool is that? We'll see you in the aisles.
NFL fans, Week 1 is your shot to play free and stack $1 million cash bag with DraftKings Pick 6, an official partner of the NFL. Here's how. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app, DraftKings' easiest way to play fantasy. Enter for free and pick more or less on 6 player stats for Week 1. Share your link with friends and add more cash to the bag and get bonus shots to win. Hit all 6 picks and you'll be splitting a bag that's already at $1 million or more. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code THEGAME. Opt in for free and start stacking entries for NFL Week 1. Zero cost. Huge upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. Must claim token for free entry in Bag Builder contest. Only perfect entries earn share of cash prize. Tokens are single use and expire September 8th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
When back to the office means back in traffic.
Vehicle that smacked into the guardrail.
Turn to the traffic leader, KCBS.
But word of a crash there.
Act fast. Get your new Honda Prologue before the $7,500 federal EV tax credit expires September 30th. Brought to you by your Northern California Honda dealers.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings. Because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Bring home the all-new Naked Gun on digital now. See Liam Neeson like never before as Frank Draven Jr. as he leads the police squad in this outrageous comedy. Rated PG-13 from Paramount Pictures. For a chance to win a digital copy, visit the contest page at 957thegame.com.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings. Because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco, on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Now back to 95.7 The Game.
Every time I hear that, I just think of Papelbon dancing in the infield for the Boston Red Sox. Dropkick Murphys. The beauty of Pasta is that if you're trying to figure out the reason why he's playing this music, don't. Because he has no idea. It's not supposed to make sense. He's kind of like our version of the Stanford Band. Just whatever. Just running around. Not supposed to make sense.
I can do whatever I want. Actually, I can't, but...
We're going to get out to the phone lines at 888-957-9570. Before we do that, I know that you guys are Valkyrie fans. In the playoffs, do you want to sort of detail what's going on? The Valkyries are off to in their first year, which as an expansion team or a new team, that never happens.
First ever season, a postseason experience. I've covered some games. Zach's covered a lot more games than I have. So Zach might have a better insight about this, but they have picked it up here in the second half, had a little bit of struggles in the first half, but they're heading to the postseason.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable, Zach. You know, I got a story for you really quick. Well, who's the player to keep an eye on, Zach? I'll admit that I don't follow them as closely as you do.
Yeah, I mean, I would say they're a really well-rounded team. You know, they lost their best player, I think, right after the All-Star break. But since then, like, they play really good team ball, so I wouldn't say there's one player. I mean, they got a couple international players like Rupert from France that are really good. But, you know, they are such a good home team. Like, they do not lose at home. On the road, I think they're a couple below 500, but at home, they're incredible.
Speaking at home, so my brother and his wife, they went to their first Valkyrie game. They're all excited. And the experience was not good. Now, the team won. They blew out the Mystics, I think this time a week ago, last weekend. Rolled the Mystics. But this is something to think about. And maybe, I don't know if you can actually broach this conversation with the person that's being offensive this way. So somebody was sitting in front of them. No, they weren't being loud and obnoxious and drunk. No, not at a Valkyrie game. But this person had extensive BO, which can really ruin your experience.
I'm out.
So I guess my question is, do people who have BO not aware that they are omitting a certain odor? Because why would you go out in public? And why would you be that guy or that woman? Especially, I mean, if you got BO, usually you've got like those, you know, those pit stains. You're like, what's that old line from Norm from Cheers? He's got these huge pit stains as he walks into the bar and he looks at Cliff Clavin and says, "Hey, Cliff, can you notice these?" And Cliff goes, "You could grow rice." But yeah, BO's not a good thing, man. Especially if you're, of all the things that you got to worry about when you're going to, you know, you're going to share a moment with thousands of people, is a dude next to you just reeks. Like, come on, man.
Criminally charged. That person should be criminally charged and jailed for the night.
Really?
Yes.
You know, in Philadelphia, they literally have a jail downstairs at the old vet. Guess how unruly their fans would get.
Well, at least they wouldn't be around anybody. I mean, gosh, that is the...
Just stick him in the stink tank. You know, they have the drunk tank. We create a stink tank. So he's in there with all the other people that smell. But maybe they don't detect. They're like, why is this called the stink tank? These guys are fine. Yeah, well, that's why you're here. Because you don't realize the odor that you're emitting right now.
What's that thing where, like, if you have bad breath, then, like, your breath stays on, like, it stays longer on, like, a mirror or a glass or whatever. If this person has bad BO, stick them in a thing, like a little holding cell. And if the holding cell shows any signs of, like, breaking down, then that's the test. I made no sense just now, but just go with it.
If I was at the game, I would have just said, you stink, thinking that, you know, the guy in front of him and the fans are thinking that you're yelling at one of the players. And then I would clarify and say, no, you stink. Not the players, you, bro. All right, let's get back on track. Jan, Mountain View, enough said. Jan, what do you got today?
Well, good morning. And I'll just make my little tip on the Valkyries. Natalie Nikasi should be the coach of the year, period. She's done a lot to bring that team and coach that team. And if she does not receive it, that's going to, I'm going to be a little hurt because she's really cared for that team and has really brought them along. But getting back to the Niners, I'm giving a big shout out to Robert Saleh for coming back as the defensive coordinator, and I believe that by what I've seen in the last two preseason games, that he's going to bring those rookies under his command, and it's going to get Nick to get back into doing the pass rush and maybe being the DPOY like he was back in 19 and help the offense around. And one thing about McCaffrey, I feel that they should only use them when, say the defense gets a turnover and Seattle's, part of the field, that he comes in for the red zone and not, run him into the ground, because that's what's gonna get him out of the game officially for the rest of the year. And if certainly I would give it a little thought, Shanahan, that Seattle's field is AstroTurf, and that may not be the right place for him to play in tomorrow, but we'll see what goes. But go Niners.
Jan from Mountain View, ladies and gentlemen. You know what was great about that call? Is that Jan she improvised.
Oh, heck yes.
She ad-libbed. Because she had, obviously, her take on the Niners, but at the last instant, we threw a curveball, and we started talking Valkyries, and she gave us Valkyrie knowledge right off the top. I don't think that was in her script. Good job, Jan. The only problem with Jan is she's from Mountain View. When I say Mountain View, what do you think, Reardon guy?
St. Francis.
Thank you very much. The Lancers. Didn't like St. Francis. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't like St. Francis. Don't like Bellarmine. Who else is outside of the city? Mitty?
Valley Christian, Mitty. Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. Barry Bonds, whatever. Tom Brady, whatever. Sarah. You guys suck.
Zach over here went to Carmont.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah. Scott's baby.
Did you play? Was there a golf team out there?
No, I actually played baseball.
Oh, that's right.
Should have played golf.
Right. That's right. What was your position?
Mostly outfield. I'm a lefty, so threw a little bit,
Nice, man. You got a little Cuckoo Gilbert in you, because you got that you get that hydrant with legs sort of look to you. Smaller guys with power.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. Yeah, so the San Francisco 49ers tomorrow. Listen, Jan's right. Robert Saleh, it's like having the adult back in the room. It's like you just feel comfortable with that guy there. And now the fact that he's been a head coach and has that under his belt, that's just bodes well for the 49ers. But it's a sense of security knowing that guy is back. And it's not his fault that he doesn't have the D Fords of the world to work with anymore, or the Richard Shermans, or all those stars that he had on that football team, Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner. But you're right. He will make the most, and you know what it is that he does, and this is sort of what the 49ers typically do, is he'll go 8-9 deep. Everybody that is on that defensive line that is healthy, not named Kevin Givens. Gross Matos, I think, was out the last couple of practices. I don't know his availability tomorrow, but everybody is going to get an opportunity to play tomorrow. That's what he does. He goes 8 deep, man. So while Mikael Williams will start, you're going to see guys rotated, and Bryce Huff will get an opportunity. Khalil Davis and Jordan Elliott will start, but you're going to see the big fella, C.J. West, waddle out there and do his thing. Alfred Collins, all those guys are just going to come in and out. And whoever's effective, they'll it's almost like earning minutes in a basketball game. But he's going to use fresh bodies. That's just what it is that he does and did. Back, remember 2019? How many guys they would pulse through? All of those guys. And they were all effective, too, back in the day. So Robert Saleh being the guy that's running your defense again just makes you feel good. But this always just comes down to talent. And if you're running at the San Francisco 49ers, I mean, just how much confidence do you have in Khalil Davis and Jordan Elliott? And I'm leaving Bosa out of the equation, but they're going to make Bosa play run defense. And I think that's part of the game plan, is to have him expend his energy on, finding the ball carrier. One thing about Bosa is that he has owned Charles Cross. That is the offensive lineman that'll be matched up against, I believe, coming up tomorrow. He just destroys that cat. And so you can expect big things from Bosa. But again, it's just, how many times have we talked about who is going to play opposite of Nick Bosa? Who's going to be his bookend? It's been an internal search ever since Dee Ford could not come back to this football team because of injuries. Going on, 5, 6 years now? Every single year. And they've tried to do it with kids like that of Mikael Williams. Remember Drake Jackson? Oh, Drake Jackson can do backflips. Whoa! Must be a good football player. Went to USC. Boo. Drake Jackson? Well, how about let's go through free agents. We can do it that way. Or let's get him trades. We'll find the Chase Young. Nope. Leonard Floyd. Nope. Charles Omenihu. Nope. Although Omenihu was good for a little bit. It's this perpetual search to find somebody else who can set the edge for the San Francisco 49ers. And now it's this kid, Mikael Williams. And by all accounts, you got to like the energy that's coming out of camp, or at least what it is that we've heard. I'm excited. If there's a few guys I'm excited to see, I guess it would start with him. I want to see Mikael Williams do his thing, to see exactly what it is that this guy's got. And it's not only that. I talk about the absence of stars on this team defensively. Like, where have they all gone? And they just haven't been replaced by at least players that you get excited about or could be or stars in the making. Like Talanoa Hufanga wasn't a perennial all-Pro Bowl performer, but his first couple of years, that was Troy Polamalu 2.0. The way that dude would support the run, that was a star in the making, right? And then obviously the injuries. But you look at the linebacking core, look at Fred Warner is Fred Warner. Pound for pound, the best linebacker in the game today, or at least in the conversation. And now who's alongside him? I talked about Dre Greenlaw, Azeez Al-Shaair. That's star-studded right there. D. Winter. D. Winter's not bad, but D. Winter to me is just that's the definition of average, right? And average isn't bad at the linebacker if you got Warner as the other guy. He's going to clean up your mistakes. He's that good. Average is not bad as a starting linebacker in the NFL. But in terms of stars, hey, D. Winter. D. Winter's just a cat, man. On his best days, he's good, maybe a little better than average. And the same thing at the cornerback position. Charvarius Ward was a star with Kansas City, was a star his first 2 years with the 49ers. Richard Sherman was a star. Diamador Lenore is a guy that could make some noise as being a lockdown, take away half the field. But, Renardo Green, good, but all-pro worthy? We'll see. There's just so many questions on that side of the ball where it was, you literally had names that were some of the best at their positions in the league. And now it's either projects or young kids that are developing or just mediocrity. But Robert Saleh is, there's a sense of you look over and you see Robert Saleh. That dude is just, 5% body fat on that guy? You feel good with him patrolling the sidelines once again. Speaking of which, Big Smooth wants to talk about the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. What's up, Big?
Man, I get that you like Robert Saleh, but doggone. Sounds like you're building up a cushion for him in case the defense doesn't look as good. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? Wilkes, we were hard on. We were hard on the guy last year. So what? With Salah, he just looks the part. Come on, man. We don't know. And let's not say that, he doesn't have good defensive players to work with. No, you hired him. Our standard is going to be our standard. We're not going to soften the blow in case they don't do well. Sounds like you don't think they're going to do well. Am I reading you correctly?
No, it's not that I don't think they're going to do well. My point is that this used to be a team that defensively was some of the best players in the NFL on that side of the ball, and so they've lost so many players. This is often the case. You can't afford to pay everybody, but you lose Dre Greenlaw, you lose a lot DJ Jones, and they have not been able to replace those players with equal value. Does that make sense?
It doesn't from the standpoint of why would you fire the coordinator at that point then?
Gotcha.
Is it the coordinator or is it the players? I mean, we said it was the coordinator when it was Wilkes, who took him to a Super Bowl. Now, last year, we're saying it's the – I don't know. I don't know which one I don't know what we're doing. I'm not sure. Salah, 5% body fat, as I sit here with 20% body fat. I don't think it's fair that he gets a pass because he looks the part. Hey, you're only as good as your players and your team. And so let's see if he was a good coach or if he just had really good players. We're going to find out.
What about D'Amico Ryans? Oh, he's gone? Lost him. Yeah, no, listen, when I talk about Robert Saleh looking the part and the 5% body fat, I think that went a long way as to why he became the most wanted defensive coordinator or he became target number one to be the next head coach in the NFL. Everybody was courting Robert Saleh because of how he had revamped that 49er defense. And to Big Smooth's point, a lot of it obviously was because he had a talented crew with which to work. So how much is it Saleh? How much is it the players? And here's where I wanted to go with Robert Saleh is that he played the part perfectly, man. Like a lot of this is just optics. And how did he make a name for himself? Well, because it's not often you notice who the defensive coordinator is and what they look like, but Robert Saleh made a point of it to be the first guy to greet his defense after a 3-and-out. Remember that? Remember that back in 2019? I dare anybody to pick Robert Saleh out of a lineup. For those of you that remember back in his days, we started with Seattle, then he went someplace else and eventually came to the 49ers. But nobody knew who he was until they're like, who is this guy that's coming out and headbutting Fred Warner? Who is this guy that's coming out, and meeting these players after a 3-and-out and greeting them as they come off the field and just high-fiving all of these guys? Like who? That's Robert Saleh. And then he became this sort of entity where he was like one and the same as that defensive unit. He looked like he played. He looked like another linebacker. And I think the optics of this well put together, good looking guy racing onto the field to greet his team after they had done well, after his defensive unit after they had done well, became a story unto itself. Like everybody became familiar with who this guy was simply because, he made it known that I'm the D coordinator. I'm well put together. And yes, I'm going to grab a little slice of television because every time they come off the field, you are going to see me. There was a method to his madness, and it worked because everybody wanted the Robert Saleh brand. Yeah, he was good in terms of what it is that he did defensively, but he also created an image, right? I know you guys know what it is that I'm talking about. Obviously, it didn't work in New York, but that's what you get when you bring Aaron Rodgers in as your quarterback. Who in their right mind thinks that Aaron Rodgers is going to work in Pittsburgh? Come on. Are you kidding me? You know what that's going to be like? You can already tell, Pasta. That's going to be one of those. It's going to be a trivia question in 5 years. In 10, 15, 20 years, when you talk about one of the greatest quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, it will be a trivia question. Who did he end up his career with? And everybody's going to say, I got it. It's the New York Jets. Nope. He played one more year. Oh, that's right. He went to Pittsburgh. Oh, I forgot all about that. He was terrible there. I mean, you already know it. What do you think, he's going to go to Pittsburgh and win? No. This dude wasn't good his last 2 years in Green Bay. I know Aaron Rodgers, shout out Cal. Love Cal. Sisters went to Cal. I am not down with that dude.
His family's not even down with him.
Yeah, he doesn't talk to his brother or his old man.
Nope.
Yeah, that should tell you everything you need to know. Dan Salah's not going to date you. No, I'm just saying that he knows. Listen, if he's, oh God, give me a portly coach. Do you guys remember the Keith Gilbertson? Used to be the head coach for the Cal Bears. And he was an assistant coach for the Seattle Seahawks. Keith Gilbertson. He looked like Oski. Oski is the mascot, right? He looked exactly. Look up Keith Gilbertson. He was just a big dude. He liked to have his beers, right? And he wasn't counting carbs. And he was the opposite of a Robert Saleh. When things would go bad when he was coaching Cal, or when he was the head coach, and things would, I think he was the head coach at the University of Washington. When things would go bad for Keith Gilbertson, and they would show a cutaway of him, it would compound things that he looked like a slob. I'm not, listen, God bless slobs, man. That's not my point. That sounds a little offensive. I'm just saying, when you don't look the part, people look at you and like, oh, God, get rid of this guy. We just threw another interception and look at him. It doesn't add value that when the optics don't look good and you have a cutaway of a dude and he looks like Keith Gilbertson, and I actually like Keith Gilbertson. I met him on a couple of occasions. Yeah, somebody else is agreeing with me. He's a good-looking man, and his optics on the field, that helped him, I think, land that coaching job. And I also think it helped that he was the guy that everybody was courting to be their next head coach. Because he just, he played the part. Rob Ryan, good call. Although, yeah, Rob Ryan is another guy. Although he had, that's the last time the Jets were good, right? With Mr. Butt Fumble, Mr. Sanchez and company. But he had a great defense. And when Rob Ryan and the Jets weren't playing well, and they show a cutaway, and you look at Rob Ryan, you're like, oh, dude. Whereas I think it's someone like that of a Robert Saleh. All right, I'll stop with the 5% body fat, and he looks good. But come on, man. You can't tell me he's not doing curls before every game. Have you seen NFL referees? Like, those guys, like, you got to be jacked to be a referee. And you know that every one of those referees now is in the weight room with the offseason, and they're buying that kid's Gap size shirt, right? Like, it's 3 sizes too small. Because they know when they get their quote-unquote optics, or they get their opportunity to make a call and they turn on their mic, that they're flexing and they're pointing, or they're gesticulating, whatever the call might be. But look at my pythons. Look at my guns, people. I'm put together. I'm a referee. That's a prerequisite now. You can't be chubby and be a referee anymore. You can't just be a dude and be a ref. No, man. That club, it's like, you guys got to work out. Same thing that happened to the PGA. Nobody looked like Tiger Woods back in the day. Now you look at those guys, and every one of them is like filling out their little golf shirt.
But nobody probably looked like John Daly either. There's probably a happy medium somewhere.
God bless John Daly, right?
I don't know if you saw him in Happy Gilmore too, but he was drinking hand sanitizer.
I mean, there's just not enough of him in the PGA, man. You need that dude.
But we associate him with alcohol, but maybe not like that.
Yeah, I remember one year where he wasn't allowed. For some reason, he couldn't play. What was the tournament that he? Zach, can you help me out here? Oh, he couldn't play at Augusta. One year he wasn't allowed at Augusta. So if you know anything about Augusta, and it's a little town out there in Georgia that, aside from the golf course, there's not much to speak of. And he literally, we got to get out of here. And I'm like, I was going to talk about John Daly being at Hooters, and I'm going into the break. But I can leave it at that. John Daly was at Hooters. There's not much more to the story than that.
Hey.
Right, let's get back into the San Francisco 49ers, and we'll talk about, are you kidding me? It's 11:30 already? We could have done this thing. It could have been like a marathon. It could have gone until tonight. We'll be back right after this.
Coach, the energy out there felt different. What changed for the team today?
It was the new game day scratchers from the California Lottery. Players, everything. Those games sent the team's energy through the roof.
Are you saying it was the off-field play that made the difference on the field?
Hey, a little play makes your day, and today, it made the game. That's all for now.
Coach, one more question.
Play the new Los Angeles Chargers, San Francisco 49ers, and Los Angeles Rams Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. With $2,500 in annual value, the new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business is the card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
It's NorCal versus SoCal in the ultimate rivalry showdown. The San Jose Earthquakes take on LAFC September 13th at Levi's Stadium. This match could be the key to the Quakes' playoff push, and the action doesn't stop at the final whistle. Catch a live halftime performance by Edgardo Nunez. And before the game, don't miss Fan Fest with Blue Demon Jr. in a live wrestling match. Plus meet and greets with world champion boxer Eric Morales and L3 legend Moises Munoz. Get your tickets now at SJEarthquakes.com and be there when NorCal brings the heat.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long.
Here we go.
Starting with a Week 1 NFC North rivalry between the Lions and Packers.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager, victim to fake pills bought from social media. This doesn't seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. So listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at McGruffPSA.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
It's O'Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Up to $100 in bonus rewards available at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to 95.7 The Game.
Yay! Little Billy Joel. Saw him in New York at the Garden. He used to perform there he had a deal at the Garden where he would perform there every month. I don't think he has that contract anymore. New York City, the location. I'll be there this week. And I'll be booing against the Mets. Oh, we just had Stardom walk into the I do not believe who just walked in to the producer pod. Just as New York came up. A man who was just at the U.S. Open. A guy that apparently is calling San Jose Giant baseball games. He used to be my partner, but he had a contract squabble. Apparently he's asking for Brandon Ayuk type money. It is one Evan Giddings who just gave me the fist bump. And I'm predicting that sooner rather than later, he and I will be doing shows together because he just can't keep us apart.
Well, I said I had to pop in on you. It was rolling down the block. Saw that. I mean, you can't miss Dan Devone when he's walking down Kearney, walking down Battery, wherever he's at in the Presidio. So I just had to come say hello. What's up?
What's up with the San Jose Giants? I had no idea. I thought we were buddies, but you didn't let me in on this past week. What's going on?
Oh, well, I mean, look, the Giants have been storming back, but San Jose's getting ready for a Cal League potential championship run. So, no, I got to fill in the last couple of days, and I didn't know it was coming, though. So I never want to – you always want to be the guy to, like, under-promise, over-deliver. But, yeah, I should have sent you the link.
No, that's exciting stuff. So I tried out my nickname on my man before I went public with it, but it's sticking today.
Cuckoo Drew?
Cuckoo Drew is even better. I went Cuckoo Gilbert, but Cuckoo Drew is even better. All right. Cuckoo Gilbert is apparently it's resonating with the people. I was thinking of hitting up FP Santangelo and giving it to him, but I know he won't give any credit to me if he says it on the air. So,
well, we know that you got your favorites. What was the last big nickname you have? Well, I mean, obviously you come up with everyone's nickname here in the office. We got Pasta Behind the Glass. You're still waiting for one on
Caddy Zach.
Caddy Zach. Okay, right. So that's a winner too.
All right.
Yeah, I mean these just tend to flow off the top. Like, please tell me when and where did you come up with this nickname for Cuckoo Drew?
Yeah, I was about to get my haircut yesterday, and then somebody was talking about him to me, and I said, yeah, the guy's nuts. He's cuckoo. So anyways, hey, can they catch the Mets and or the Padres? Give me a yes or no. Is that going to happen?
I don't think so. But this is what it's about. It's about getting a taste of a chase for October, in my opinion. I mean, like, can they? Yeah, mathematically, I think so. But look, so they've won 5 in a row. The Padres have lost 5 in a row. And they're still 4 back without the tiebreaker over those two teams. You're going to continue to need them to slide. And I guess I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt to two teams who have potential aspirations to, like, go deep in October. So I personally don't see it. But look, baseball is a strange sport, and we thought this team was dead, and maybe someone was able to resurrect them. I don't know. Do you think they're done?
Do I think they're done? I think it's the pitching is going to listen. They're pitching so bad right now, but that's going to.
And they just lost their closer.
I think it's seriously. I think that Cuckoo Drew, that Cuckoo Gilbert is really instrumental, and I'm not joking. I think that guy has created an energy on that team that they otherwise did not have. Hey, listen, man. Since I got you here, let's go through the Cal quarterback. You should have heard Pasta was like the whitest dude on the planet trying to say the name earlier.
Well, look at him. His last name's Risotto.
Yeah, Pasta, do you want to give another shot at it?
No, not particularly.
Yeah, all right. I mean, he could even start with Jaron. Jaron's his first name, right?
Yeah, Jaron.
Yeah, he butchered that.
That's only 2 syllables.
All right.
He's also got a Padres hat on. I don't know if you told anybody that today.
I don't know what's going on there.
All right.
There's no rhyme or reason to anything he does.
I'm pretty sure I got this down, but in front of the people, I want to do this in real time for
you. Ready, Pasta? We're going to drum roll anything here?
All right. So a small production. Jaron, Kaive, Songa, Polutele.
I think so.
Okay, all right. We're all on the same page here.
Kaive or Kavea?
I thought it was Kaive. It could be Kavea. The middle,
I don't even know.
The middle name, I'm going to be honest, I've been working less on that one than the last name. Songa Polutele is the one that I've been trying to get down pat.
And Dave Fleming, of course, Well, one of the most difficult things to do is to call Hawaii football because you get all the Samoan names. But the thing about Hawaiian names, they're very mellifluous, right? They're easily phonetically to pronounce because they have a ring to them. Like they're very... Yeah, they look daunting when you see them on paper, but once you say them repeatedly, like, oh, okay, it's like singing a song. This is very easy to do repeatedly.
I think once you kind of get the alphabet down, it becomes easier. Like once you have the name once, you have it. So like I'm calling a Santa Clara volleyball match in about 4 hours from now, and
I miss this.
For the last 4 years, they had a setter who is from she's Hawaiian roots, but her last name was Tuileta. Nive Tuileta. And so once you have it down the first time, you're good. But for the first couple of, you're looking down at your notes, you're looking down at your rosters, like, is it Tui, is it Tui, is it Leta, but Tuileta. I feel like once you have it down the first time, Songapolo Tele.
Do you really have Hawaiian roots, or were you messing with me?
No, I don't. I'm saying she did.
But don't you have a connection to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Friends?
I know some people in...
Okay.
Yeah, I had teammates from out there. I spent time in Waianae,
No, really?
Swear to God.
In Waianae?
Oh, yeah, West Side, baby.
Well, that's where I said I was going to take pasta after you butchered the name, just so that they can, roast him, literally roast him. So, hey, while my man's here, can we play, which I think so here, I'm a big Kentucky Derby guy.
I got to get some headphones.
Do we have to pay you for this? Because I can see my news director saying, Dan.
No, Nahigan might be pissed, though.
Okay. So here's my thing, is that are there any headphones on the pod there up?
If you play it loud enough, I can crank it through the speaker.
Oh, you need the headphones to hear it. Okay. Should I just give him mine since I've already heard it?
Well, so you're playing me a Kentucky Derby. Now, is this from the horse racing in Italy?
So Rich Strike. No, not the Palio.
These aren't the Italian horses that you've been telling me about?
No, so that race is all about each horse represents a neighborhood. And if you saw all the people, those are all the people from the neighborhoods in the Palio di Signa. But no, so here's the thing.
Pasta, you gave me some headphones. These are like iPhone headphones from 2007 after a middle schooler has been wrangling them for the entire math period.
Oh, is that the one that looks like someone's been gnawing on them? Because I love those.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I love the Kentucky Derby. As a young man, that's one of my first inspirations to get into broadcasting. I would hear it, and down the stretch they come. I was like, oh God. So, as difficult it is to call a horse race, my inspiration, and I made the analogy between Rich Strike, which was the greatest upset in the history of the Kentucky Derby. He went off at 80-1. This horse, I think, which was bought for seriously, a 12-pack and $500. Rich Strike in 2021 pulls off the biggest upset.
All right, I'm locked.
Okay, so you would appreciate this as an announcer. So Rich Strike he's irrelevant. He wasn't even listed until late Friday night that he was going to be a participant in the Derby. So as a guy that's calling the Derby, this becomes a two-horse race. And Rich Strike at the top of the stretch, and here's the analogy I made. The Giants, if Rich Strike can do it, the Giants should have all you Giant fans should hold out hope that an 80-1 shot can do it. Then the Giants, as they hit the stretch, 4 games is not unsurmountable. You can do it as well. So as they hit the stretch, Rich Strike is in last place, and it's a two-horse race. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Rich Strike comes into the picture. This announcer, who hasn't said Rich Strike's name the entire race, out of nowhere, without a blink, says, Rich Strike has got the rail. And it's go ahead. I can't do it justice.
Epicenter has taken the lead as they arrive into the final furlong. Sandon is coming after him. Epicenter and Sandon, these two, stride for stride. Simplification down the outside is next. They're coming down to the wire. Epicenter, Sandon. Rich Strike is coming up on the inside. Oh my goodness! The longest shot has won the Kentucky Derby. Rich Strike has done it in a stunning, unbelievable upset.
So my answer,
that's a great call.
My question to you is: would you have to look at what would you do if a horse that you had not even called, had not even mentioned, all of a sudden wins the Derby and comes literally out of nowhere?
You probably are glancing down at your reference sheet. But at the same time, if this person has seen this horse before, then it's a different story. I don't know if there's been a race that Rich Strike has been in before, if the 7 on the horse is in bright yellow and pops a little bit more so you kind of recognize it. I don't know what was going through that guy's mind, but he didn't miss a beat.
No.
That was incredible.
No, it's so inspiring, man.
Well, so actually, when I was in New York, I stopped at this place called Near's Tavern in Queens.
Okay.
And a lot of people may know it because it's the bar that Goodfellas is set in. So for whatever reason, Scorsese picked this bar. It's like one of the third or fourth oldest bars in NYC. But a big reason that it popped in the 1800s is because of horse racing. Because they had a ton of derbies out in Flushing and sort of the outer part of
Belmont Stakes
of NYC. Exactly. And so they basically built this bar just like you would build I don't know, Momos down by the ballpark, they figured that horse racing was the sport in kind of the mid to late 1800s, and we need to build this watering hole, essentially, for the non-horses. And they had all these pictures of, horses, but then they had a couple of the broadcasters up there, obviously in black and white. So hearing that just made me think about all the people I've saw on top of Near's Tavern, which, of course, is associated with, like, mobsters and Ray Liotta, God rest his soul, and De Niro. But I'm like, oh, this is a place where horse broadcasters used to come wet their beak.
Yeah, well, horse racing back in the day was, you're going back to like the 1930s. That was what the NFL is today. It was number one in terms.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. So was that the bar in which Ray Liotta casually says to Joe Pesci, "You're funny"?
Yes.
How am I funny?
Well,
funny like how? Funny like a clown? Is that the bar?
Yes, it's classic looking. It's not like it's not like a sports bar, like a pub you go to. It's a nice place. It's got food options. They're like what was the other long one? It was 1792 down by Wall Street, where Washington used to go talk with the founding fathers and stuff.
Washington lived in New York City.
Francis Tavern, I think, is what it's called. But
you know that Washington lived, his house was down there in New York City. He didn't. This is pre-White House. So as the president of the United States, his house was down in that area.
Well, no, and they used to have to serve like some of the British, prior to obviously the Revolutionary War. No, dude, the amount I thought that I was just going to be doing some bar hopping and popping around and having a little bit, but the more that I got into all these places, there's so many different stories.
Yeah,
and you live in New York, like you can walk up and ask anybody, and they'll just tell you the entire resume of a specific building, and I'm just sitting there like a fly on the wall, like, oh well, I'm here to see the Mets tonight.
Did you go to the So David Lombardi, I don't know this place, goes to the San Francisco bar. Are you familiar with this?
There is one.
A sports bar dedicated exclusively to San Francisco fans?
I'm going to be honest, those kind of bars don't really interest me too much. And I want to learn about the city. Like, I don't need to go and feel like I'm at home somewhere else. I want to dig deep. I want to be in the squalor of Lower East Side. I want to be I want to be in Kips Bay. Get me down over to Hell's Kitchen, pop around to Chelsea. Yeah, let me see
where
the
Bob
locals
Dylan
live.
Was inspired to write his poetry.
Yeah, Greenwich Village. Yeah, let me walk around and see where those guys got their inspiration.
All right, just really quick before we lose you, your thoughts on Christian McCaffrey. I say that this is very eerily similar to that of a year ago, when we got the same sort of sound bite, almost verbatim from that of McCaffrey, that I'm okay, I'm fine. And obviously, we didn't see him until week number 9. I don't think he's playing tomorrow. What say you?
I'm forever scarred by week 1 Monday Night Football against the New York Jets, because I was down on the field in the end zone speaking with Cam Inman. Guru and I were chopping it up before the game, watching people work out and stuff like that. We're talking to Cam, and we were like, do you think McCaffrey's going to play? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't know, not too sure. At the time, he was listed as questionable. Now, he wasn't, limited on Thursday. He hadn't practiced a whole lot, but he had the calf issue. 5 minutes after we're done talking to Cam Inman, I get a notification on my phone. Cam Inman, breaking story. Christian McCaffrey is out tonight for Monday Night Football. Jordan Mason's in. So I cannot get that out of my mind. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the Niners are playing this sort of shell game and Kyle Shanahan's trying to throw McDonald off the scent and all that. But I really don't think that at an age 29 player with an injury history, you can predict any of this. So if he's shutting himself down after feeling something on Thursday, I'm inclined to believe that whether he plays or not, at some point he's going to feel it again. And this is not an injury that's going to go away.
I'm not a doctor, so.
And if he's feeling it in a light practice, one can only assume that when the bullets are flying for real.
Exactly.
And he's got a cut on that thing, and he's going up against that defense that, I don't know.
Which sucks, because the guy is unbelievable. Like, the talent is just ridiculous, and this team is completely different with him. But I guess that's why you also got some Geico, and you traded for Brian Robinson. I was telling the guys that I watched Brian Robinson a little bit. He's just an average running back. He's good, but there were no superlatives I can throw his way. Like I would see Jordan Mason run. Jordan Mason will run right through you, puts his head down. Even Elijah Mitchell had some flair. I watched this guy. He's good, but there's just nothing that jumps off the page at me when I watch Brian Robinson Jr. run a football. I mean, that's why Washington traded him.
Right?
It's like he was going to be their 4th string running back.
Yeah, also got traded was Marquez Valdez-Scantling from guess who? The Seattle Seahawks are like, we'll go Jake Bobo.
Dude, those guys I actually feel horrible for. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, yeah, he might catch a ball or two on Sunday. That guy's out there to do cardio. Like, it's his job to sprint so that the middle of the field is open for everyone else. I always wonder how those guys feel. It's like their greatest gift is also what means they're never going to get the ball, because your job is to run go routes as fast as you can, peel off to the sideline, take a breather, get back out there, and just run suicides. Like,
that's kind of what Tyreek Hill does for 3/4 of a game. Although he's obviously the ball. He's a target, because he can run past guys, but he's just opening up everything underneath, right? Like that draws like 2 or 3 guys.
God, I love football's back.
It is back. That's right. All right, that is Evan. I don't know. I would love to hang on. Am I going to get in trouble if you hang on for another 10 minutes?
I mean, I literally just came in to do some printing because I got to head down to Santa Clara in a sec. But I told you last, I was like, I'm done with my workout. I'm coming in. We got 10 minutes. I don't know. What's up?
Oh, no. I mean, you're up. You're here, for crying out loud.
I was going to ask him if he could stay. Why are you asking me? It's fine with me.
Pasta, you're the producer. Take the reins. Yes or no? Am I in?
Absolutely. It's slam dunk.
Okay. All right. So what if... I honestly haven't been listening too much this morning. What have you been...
crying out loud.
What have you been rambling on about?
Well, you know what? I think our audience is still sort of locked into a baseball show. And the 49er fans, we heard from Jan from Mountain View.
God love her.
I mean, bring it on, man.
So we were talking about, one of the things that got traction is that I felt, I think that Robert Saleh coming back is obviously an upgrade. But I think defensively, I'm interested to get your take on this. I think that just collectively, defensively, this team has lost so many good players, so many stars, and have not been able to replace them with equal value. Whether it's DeForest Buckner, DJ Jones, Eric Armstead, even Richard Sherman leaving, that now you're getting back guys, but they're not of equal talent. And I think that now you find yourself with what used to be a star-studded lineup when the last time Robert Saleh was patrolling the sidelines in 2019. Then now you got 2 guys. You got Bosa and you got Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to Dre Greenlaw? What happened to Azeez Al-Shaair? What happened to Talanoa Funga? What happened to DJ Jones? Who did we get? Now you just got like 2 guys standing.
Well, if you still had Dre Greenlaw, he'd be out this weekend because he's unavailable for the Broncos. But so I have a theory about the offense and the defense.
The Broncos are the best defense in the NFL now. Are you riding that way?
They're close. Yeah. I mean, if they're not number one, Pittsburgh. I think a lot of people had Philly up there come in. They look kind of soft against Dallas on Thursday. But what I'm most curious about with this team is, since they have the second oldest offense and the second youngest defense, is if they can get on the same page at the same time. And what I mean by that is I think that the offense is going to carry them at the beginning of the season while their defense is still catching up, and there's going to be, probably 5 rookies getting rotational snaps tomorrow. But by the end of the season, I think we're going to look at this defense as like a top half unit. I just think that they're going to grow a ton over these 17 games. And by the end of the year, they're going to be playing their best ball. But will the offense that's kind of old, that might have a Christian McCaffrey injury, Trent Williams might miss a game or 2, Kittle's getting up there, you got a lot of old playmakers, are they going to be able to stay upright for 17 games to where the defense is playing great, but is the offense taking a step back? So I think at the beginning of the season, you're going to see this offense carry this team. And against a weaker schedule, I think they'll be able to win some games. But then at the end of the year, I think we're going to look at this team as more of a defensive group. That's my theory. And a lot of it is because of Saleh.
It's kind of like a Giants analogy. They were pitching dominant early on, no hitting. Now they're hitting, and where's the pitching? Not there. Any thoughts on Jalen Carter and spitting on people?
Gave him that hawk to the Jalen Carter thing is. Dude, I didn't realize. So I was calling the San Jose Giants game. I didn't realize it was before the first snap.
Oh yeah,
that's unbelievable.
He walks into their huddle.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah. I mean, number one, you're the Super Bowl champ. Number two, they're at your crib. Thank you, Pasta. Number 3, come on, man. Like, seriously, if I was an Eagles fan, I would be legitimately pissed at that guy.
Yeah, but the Dak Prescott, does that sort of alternate at all? Did Dak Prescott, did he invoke that
He's not worth
sort of
your
response?
saliva, with all due respect.
Well, so the video had Dak Prescott spitting at him initially.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that part.
Yeah, so the cameras caught Dak. And this is what happens.
You always get the second guy.
Well, no, yeah. Well, this is what happens when you go into a a delay because of thunder showers or whatever it is that they shut down the game for like an hour and a half. So somebody in the video room was like, oh, what are we going to do? And somebody found the video of Dak Prescott, throwing a loogie his way at his feet initially. But it's like the last thing the NFL wanted to deal with. I mean, it's come on, man. Never spit. For any of you youngsters growing up, man, do anything you want, but don't spit.
Well, you're talking to a guy who played baseball, so it's really hard to not just...
That's an entirely different...
In between the lines. Sunflower seeds are just, made. Like, there's literally a brand called Spitz. They're my favorite. Now, you're not going to ask me about the Chargers?
Why?
Because they're the best team in football right now.
Come on. Chargers don't have a home.
Yeah, it's Sao Paulo, Brazil. That's their home. Last night, they filled that bad boy out. Come on, man.
All right, we'll throw some love to the Chargers.
You don't even know who was catching balls last night, and they still beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, that was
Quentin Johnston?
Impressive.
Yeah, I forgot he was a first-round pick.
Are you a Justin Herbert? I mean, is Justin Herbert overrated?
Probably. I think he slides. He has all the talent in the world, and then you watch some of the decisions that he makes in real time, and it's like... How? Why? You're molded by Zeus. Like, what are you doing with the football?
Well, I think he's good. He reminds me of a guy that's just been on crappy teams. Like, he just, like, well, that's not true.
I wonder if he has it upstairs. Obviously, he has all the physical tools, but some of the decisions he makes sometimes are a bit perplexing.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those. He's one of those quarterbacks, and there's probably 6 or 7 of them that you could call the 5th best quarterback in football. But we're going to get into an argument about it. Like, I think most people have Jaden Daniels at 5, but then, it could be Hurts, could be Stafford, could be Herbert, could be Baker. I don't know. Some people might have Brock. Like, there's a lot of different likabilities for, certain quarterbacks after you get past the top 4.
I got someone for you.
Who?
I got this year's version.
Don't tell me Daniel Jones.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I am. Yes, I am.
I know you, man.
He is going to be this version of Sam Darnold.
No, but he could be. Well, he's a little bit older.
And he's going to be a little bit of a sleeper.
I think he stinks.
Well, as in like, wake me up when the seat,
No, they're going to be all right. Their defense is good.
All right, so there's a poll in The Athletic this week about teams with, it was like a hopium meter. Like, are you optimistic or pessimistic? The most pessimistic fan base, according to this Athletic poll, the Indianapolis Colts.
Really?
Yeah, nobody in that fan base believes in their team.
So here's the other sleeper. I didn't come up with this, but I heard about it, and that is the Miami Dolphins. Because everybody was trying to pick who's going to be this year's Washington Commander breakout team. And a lot of people feel as though people are just overlooking McDaniels and the Dolphins. Because they still have, talented players with Tyreek Hill and company. And, and you still have Tua Tagovailoa, and you still have a Chan, is that right?
A-Chain, yeah. The team that I would choose, and I think when we did this last year, I did give you a lock on the first week.
Yes, you did. New England Patriots.
Yeah. Now, I don't have as big of an underdog for you today, and I'm not sure they are, but the lock of this weekend is the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football.
What's the line?
I don't know, but they're beating the Vikings. Like, J.J. McCarthy is not winning that first football game in Chicago. Ben Johnson, the team that I'm very high on this year is the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, because if J.J. McCarthy wins that football, keep in mind, those are the 2 quarterbacks that came out the same year. J.J. McCarthy, people forget that he came out Caleb's year.
Yep, and then tore his ACL. I just think that, like, Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson, they already have enough on offense. The defense is going to be good enough this season. I don't see how they're as bad as they were last year, which, by the way, also, their season fell apart after that Hail Mary from the Washington Commanders. They weren't that bad of a team early on. I think they just completely broke down. Yeah, I like Caleb.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. I think another situation where you finally get him with some consistent coaching, he's going to be good.
All right, man. Well, we got another minute here. I really want to touch on, but you're not damn. I'm telling you, Daniel Jones is just. You ever watch Daniel Jones play?
Look, I know you guys have the same first name. It doesn't mean you have to like the guy.
That dude can run. He can throw. He's like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, of course. We'll see what it is that we get out of him without Justin Jefferson, without Jordan Addison. And he's thrown to the likes of Jake Bobo and company.
Jackson Smith and Jigba ain't bad, man.
He's good.
We'll see.
Because you're a baseball guy, we got about a minute here.
Yep.
That was like such a typical baseball fight the other day. Like with Devers getting into it. I mean, like, why do they even do that? No one fights anymore in Major League Baseball, right? Like, no one should leave the bullpen. Let's just because I zeroed in. If you ISO on some of the players, like Devers had every opportunity to get Freeland, or was it Freeland? And wanted nothing to do with him.
You know who else? There was Willie Adamas. Like, that guy came out looking like an Irish. What's the guy who puts his fisticuffs up and kind of rolls back and forth? An Irish boxer.
Every Irish dude at 1 o'clock in the morning at any bar in America.
Or 2 p.m. if you're in New York City somewhere. But they had no intention of throwing punches. I can't believe Chapman actually got suspended. I thought that was kind of weak for the league.
Thing. That's the other thing. We got to go into 12 o'clock hour. What's on after? What's the programming after this? Because will you call them up Fox at the network level and say, well, we're going to get into you in about 20 minutes? No. That's the other thing, is that Major League Baseball, why are you suspending Chapman for what? Do you see what it is they do in the NFL? Can it be a little bit more egregious? Like, can he actually punch somebody? Like, that's worthy of a suspension. The NFL must be laughing at the MLB.
He didn't spit at anybody. I mean, I was shocked when he got one game, and then I'm looking around at everybody else who essentially did the same thing. And they just, I don't know, the video picked out this one guy. Didn't have any Rocky. Nevertheless, Kyle Freeland, who was in the wrong the entire way. It's like, dude, you got a 7 ERA, your team stinks. How about you trying to not throw a cookie down the middle on an 0-2 count?
On that note, we got to get out. Hey, when are we doing this again, man?
Who knows, dude? I'll stop by at 11:30 next week.
Next week, don't forget to join Evan Giddings at 11:30 here on 95.7 The Game. And Ed, thanks for stopping by. For my man, Zach, the best golfer, bar none, in the Bay Area, and, of course, Pasta. I love you. This is Dan Avone for Evan Giddings here at 95.7 The Game. Until next time, so long, everybody. This is Dan Avone saying, so long, everybody.
This weekend, Kohl's is giving away millions in Kohl's Cash in store. It's like you're getting free shopping money. At least that's what I tell my husband. Yep, you're just making smart financial decisions, one trendy sweater at a time. Plus, all month, enter our online sweepstakes at Kohl's.com for a chance to win $200 Kohl's Cash. Some exclusions apply while supplies